fucked up. Give a fuck about friends. Country been down so long, it's a must I win. Hold my place like cast iron, won't break, won't bend. Stuck them racks in a all black Camuto bag. Louis V, Drake, Dover starch, Bowman pants. Used to rock them camo.
Hey, yo, what is good, everybody? The good listeners, watchers on YouTube, Facebook. Welcome to the very first rounders college football preview mega show. I am opening tonight, man. Like I said, I guess, B has blessed your boy, to be, hosting tonight's episode. I'm your boy, The Real Reggie, a.k.a. Young Clifton, a.k.a. HNIC for this one night, though, man. But again, we bring y'all the best.
Jesus Christ.
The best, that we have to offer on this good college football. Y'all might have heard of Athlons, y'all might have heard of Lindy's, but guess what? They're not us. We're about to tell y'all exactly what y'all need to know about this coming 2023 college football season. Who's going to win the P5? Who's going to the playoffs? Who's winning the championship? And since this is the first mega show, we have to do it big. So we bring it back, not just a guest, but a member of the First Rounders family. We got the legendary King Jeff, and now the sole proprietor of the legendary podcast. So again, give big ups. Congratulate this man, so again, this first podcast, 12 episodes in, man. So this is a very busy man, and he's decided to bless us with this time on this good episode, man. So Jeff, thank you once again. How you doing, my brother?
Doing pretty good, man. I'm still out here on the West Coast. I'm up here in Tacoma. For all you real Georgia Southern fans, this is where we won those first two national championships at. And, it's definitely good to be back with the First Rounders. I mean, these are a bunch of great people that I've known since, like, my first days of college. And it's just great to be back in here and just to partake and parlay a little bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So definitely again, glad you can make it out, man. So make it out there for us, and the main host, the main host, don't for me though, man. But while we're waiting for him, though, shoot, man. Everybody's introduce yourselves, man. Y'all already know, man, how we do, man. King Leon, man, how you been living, bro?
What's up, my guy? Well, I'm gonna be hell Southern tonight because I'm representing my school for a college game day night. So we here tonight, man. I'm ready to talk about some college football because it's back, right? What's up, we all? What's up?
Yes, it is, boy. It's a beautiful thing, man. Football season.
Let's go, man.
We got preseason games going, man. We got high school games that they started in the state of Georgia. Shout out to the coaches. Who getting their teams ready for the Friday night lights.
Let's go. You
also got Rick, man. You got Rick. I just saw some video of my little nephew Messiah. He out there getting like some nice tackles and stuff. So watch out for these little red kids as well, man.
Good stuff, man. Corporal Rivers.
Yo. It's all good, man. Y'all already know. Reporting live from good old Fort Campbell, Kentucky / Tennessee. Hey, man, I'm here ready to talk about this college football. Monday, I went out and saw my little cousin playing his first game of the season.
Shout out Chantel
in Tennessee. Shout out Chantel and Marquise, man. Good old Marshawn out there playing his first JV game. They got to switch it up, but hey, they did good, man. They did good. Their team won their first game and off to a good start, man. So be checking out middle school. I'm gonna try to check out some high school games too, and then try to check out a couple of college games and some NFL games. It's all right here. Nashville, only 45 minutes away. So hey, man, I'm gonna be everywhere and just try to get it all in, bro. Get it all in. But what's up, listeners? What's up, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good time. Hope everybody's having a good night. It's Thursday, almost. It's Friday Eve.
I'm about to say Little Friday.
Getting it in.
Friday
you
Junior.
know what I'm saying? Yeah, but Friday Junior for sure. So hope everybody's listening. Hope everybody listen to us right now. Tune in right now because we live and we about to get it in. We about to talk cash shit. I'm about to talk cash shit. The goddamn King Jeff and he already know. And then Real Reggie, he already know I'm about to talk cash shit. So hey, if it's just us three, they already know.
That's right. Go blue. We all gonna win that natty.
Not that. Oh yeah, man. That's again, man.
Not Michigan
Again,
blue.
man,
I mean like Hell Southern.
This is a mega show, so we definitely want our listeners, man. Y'all already know how we do, man. If y'all are here for the draft party, the NFL draft party, man, then y'all already, then the interactions, we know y'all can get active though, man. So this is definitely the show for y'all to get active. Come in, rep your school, rep the team that you cheer for on Saturdays. Do all of that. Throughout this entire podcast, we definitely want to see our interactions though, man. Talk your cash shit, like I said, but if you get too crazy though, man, so we don't. So you already know, man. Say how we do, man. That's again. Y'all
Hey, like Donald Trump said, you're fired.
Definitely a big part of the show as we are, man. So young B Willingham, man, what's good?
Man, what is good, man? It's your boy B Willingham, aka Jeremiah Masoli. You know, I'm just up in here.
Oh damn! Man, look.
Yeah, man. You know, we had to change though. You know, I had to go and let my boy Reggie do the hosting thing. So I know he's like very, very excited. So it's all like, yo, man, you'll be the right person to do this right here. But man, I'm glad they be here, man. I'm glad Jeffy came out. You know, checking out being on the first rounders again. I'm glad you didn't choose the second rounders because you know you'll be looking right now. So.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So,
but
second round.
But absolutely though, again, the comments already popping off, man. I definitely love it. But before we actually get into our discussion on the P5, we got some old business to take care of though, and I will admit this is at least these topics that I'm about to get into are topics that I don't like talking about in particular. But since it is relevant to the conversation, we definitely want to again. We definitely want to keep y'all informed of the things that's going on. So the last time we had a show, Washington and Oregon were still members of the Pac-12. So that should just tell y'all. That should tell y'all exactly, the time frame. That's again, there's crazy stuff that's going on in college. And since then, the Utah, the two Arizona schools, Arizona State, and before that, we talked about Colorado had already joined the Big 12, but Utah, Arizona, and Arizona State follow suit, and they joined the Big 12 as well. So the Pac-12, Pac-4 is now a zombie, or at least coming up. It's going to be a zombie conference after this coming season. So now, like I said, that we have a fully coast-to-coast conference in the Big 10, and the Big 12 is now somehow just again, I got to give it to her, man. The Big 12 definitely found a way to survive even after losing Texas, Oklahoma though. But yeah, this shows y'all who really runs college football right now, and it's ESPN, Fox, and CBS and NBC.
No TSN.
Well, that boy fresh out of Toronto, boy. That boy fresh out of Toronto with that TSN, boy.
I know, right?
Real.
Oh shit.
Ain't BET doing one too? BET ain't doing that, right?
You said BET. Speaking of BET,
you know what? BET's owned by CBS. I got on social shoes. We might actually get some games on BET.
I know, but I know this probably like
HBCU games on BET now.
I was just about to mention that. I was just about to mention that, Jeff. You remember when they back along?
Shit, I'm talking about Rutgers in Maryland probably playing on BET or something, man.
Oh shit,
Rutgers in Maryland, bro. That's the
what
only.
You said,
hey,
I'll just say,
only.
Remember when on BET used to have an HBCU game like a long time ago on Saturdays?
They really did.
And
really, it was
like
like just
freaking trash. Freaking trash.
Yeah,
bro. They had one camera, bro. One camera in the damn coach's box, and that's how you watch the game.
And then they just got somebody out.
Yeah.
Then they just hired somebody off the street to be commentators.
Damn.
Yeah. Goddamn, Uncle.
Hey, you want to commentate for this
Uncle-
game? Sure.
Yeah, man,
Uncle,
come on
they just
in,
pick
come
somebody
on
out the
in.
crowd. Come on in. You like
They
you
don't even
played
get the
football
interns.
before?
Like you said, Jeff, they literally get anybody from the stands. Hey, you want to live your dreams of being on ESPN? Come on, man. This ain't ESPN, man. But hey, man, we can even give you that
Right
practice.
You know what I'm saying? Or bring back Roxy and old boy. Bring him back. Bring back
Talking about Terrence J
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jay.
football, man.
Yo.
or Agent Free.
I'm about to say some old ass shit that I know y'all remember as kids. Do y'all remember Jefferson Pilot Sports?
They used to go on early Saturday, right?
Jefferson Pilot Sports. That came on right
Yeah,
after
like
Saturday
12.
morning
Yeah, that was like a
cartoons.
noon games and shit. Yeah.
Early.
Jefferson Pilot, shit, man. Raycom.
Jefferson College Sports.
But back then the
Hey,
games were just so dry though. I mean, you had to really be into it.
That's for your fix.
And
Yeah,
I'm
like,
not
if you need
into
the
it.
fix, yeah,
And
if you
and I'm not
need the fix,
into
man.
it.
You were watching that game.
Not
man.
into it at all.
Oh yeah.
Jefferson Pilot. That is
Yeah.
hilarious, Jeff. Man, that was a pull. That was a pull.
There was, yeah.
That was absolutely pull, though, man. But shit, man. But back at hand, though, man. But again, man, it looks like we're getting closer to a landscape where it's going to be P2. And again, like I told y'all, at least like I told y'all 2 weeks ago, don't blame the kids for the shit that the adults are doing, man. And again, I think one of the best things about college, football, unlike the pros, is the regionality, that we always got, man. The regionality, the rivalries, the pageantry that we always associated with sport is now dying at the altar, of unfettered capitalism, basically. And again, like I said, that's really all this is, man. Again, if the Pac-12 had their shit together when it came, to these media rights, we probably wouldn't have gotten here, though, man. But again, there was no reason why Washington should be playing Rutgers at like 12 o'clock at noon, man. Because again, ain't nobody trying to study no damn Rutgers football. And that might be the luckiest program. Rutgers might be the luckiest program in all of the damn P5, man. They said if they weren't as close to New York City as they were, they wouldn't have been scooped by the Big Ten when they had
Hell no, they wouldn't be.
expansion.
Exactly why they got that. Those are the numbers, man.
Yeah.
New York area.
Definitely wasn't going to Syracuse.
Yeah, that's
The only
not.
thing you know about Rutgers is Ray Rice, so child abusing their ass or woman abusing their ass.
Man, it's a child abuse.
And that cat that had like a spinal cord injury,
Yeah.
LeGrand, I think that's his name. Yeah.
I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Yeah, I
Rutgers.
remember him.
Yeah.
I remember old boy before he went to the NFL, that hard ass coach. What's his name?
I know his name because he coached
Greg
the
Schiano?
Buccaneers.
Yeah.
Greg Schiano,
Yes.
something like that.
Graciano, yeah. Who's back?
Sorry.
Hold on, Ronaldo. Who's back at Rutgers, by the way?
Say word.
He's back at Rutgers, so yeah.
All I knew was him being the tough ass and trying to be like eat drink your milk, go to bed, all this, that, and the third,
And didn't win shit.
ain't do nothing. But hey, they made a whole Hufflepuff for it. So but hey, shout out to Rutgers though, because I got family there. I went to Rutgers, all the good stuff. I still got I got the jacket for whatever. Well, I got the jacket because it has an R on it, and that's my name. So I took it from my cousin's closet. Like, this is a cool ass jacket. I didn't know it was Rutgers jacket. So
Y'all don't remember Don Emus?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He talked about the Rutgers women's, basketball team.
That
Right?
and the web, yeah.
Whew, well, great times, great times, man. But now, like I said, again, unfortunately, to doing this latest era of expansion, and realignment. I said, we're gonna, we got words about that. Like I said, we definitely getting into.
Oh no, I'm going in. I'm going in.
We getting in.
Hey, and don't you worry.
We getting in on that, man. Don't worry.
I'm on
Don't
the
worry.
Facebook
We
chat.
definitely we getting in on that one,
me
man.
and Glenn Cliver are going in. So don't you worry. If y'all see some stuff pop up, don't you worry. Just know.
But
I
definitely will say
got
though. Like I said again, I will say. Unfortunately, I said teams, are getting left behind. And again, if you're Washington State who recently built or at least put $30 million into your program, but now you have no idea how you're going to get that money back. Now that 8 teams have left you behind. It's same with Oregon State. Oregon State, I think, is ranked in is a top 25 team, man. They're finally getting some motion, and now what's going to happen to their program? And of course, Stanford and Cal.
That's what I'm about to ask, man. How do you feel?
Man, they're gonna go to some Ivy League. They're gonna go to the Ivy League. What are the Ivy League conference?
What? Who?
How they said that shit, bro.
What do y'all feel like is going to be the
Maybe they're doing like the Big Sky Conference or something.
doing? What we're going to do?
Shit.
I'd like to do a Mountain West Conference.
I mean, we've heard some. Again, there's some rumors that maybe Mountain West though, but again, at the same time,
Mountain West is a
these
downgrade, ain't it?
This school has been P5 for a while, though. And again, used to their P5. But that's going to be the thing about it, though. How they transition, or if they're going to transition. Because I don't know if y'all probably heard about this, but there's recently, and this just shows how absolutely bonkers the ACC were. But the ACC had several solid votes on getting Stanford and Cal into the ACC. But again, it's allegedly being led by Notre Dame, who's talking about the reason Notre Dame wants them in is because so they can save them or whatever, man. They're too prestigious schools, so they want to save them. But again, ain't nobody talking about saving none of these schools. Them won't think about that shit when they chasing that damn media money. Now the ACC, now they're talking about saving these schools. And that should be, the ACC's, the ACC's problem, or that should be, their thing to save them. And four schools said, but FSU, Clemson, North Carolina, and NC State said, hell to the nah. He's sharing a conference with Stanford and Cal. And again, like I said, this is brave new world. We're into a brave new
world. Real, man. Like college football is changing for the worse right now. I'm just being honest, it is. It's changing for the worse. I mean, like we all went to Georgia Southern. I mean, like we had hellified experiences. We knew the struggle, and we gained some character and growth out of it. Now these kids are in high school making money that we can only imagine. They go into these schools, the first thing that they ask is cut the shit and cut the check. It ain't about education. It's all about the money now. And with that, I believe that that's going to really dilute the product of college football. And like you touched on earlier, the traditions. I mean, what's going to happen to the USC Notre Dame game? What's going to happen to USC UCLA? What's going to happen to the Rose Bowl when it was about the Big Ten and the Pac-12? We put all that aside just for some media rights, and all these schools are just using this money. Yeah, sure, to pay coaches hundreds of millions of dollars now. I mean, I'm seeing the price of all these new sports complexes within these universities, $300 million here, $200 million here. What the hell? And I'm still trying to pay for my student loans right now. And, it's a lot to unpack. It's like, is this really what we want? And what is the end game going to be? Because with the NIL stuff, there has to be some constraints within that as well. It's going to just truly become a minor league NFL system, which it kind of is already. Look at Colorado.
Yeah, look at Colorado.
Bro, they got all the transfers, bro.
Yeah,
they got all the transfers.
All the transfers, but not enough though. That's the thing. Again, like I said, I got words for him. I got words for him. Like I said, we'll definitely get more. We'll definitely get more into the, we'll definitely get more into that later, though, man.
There was good
transfers and they getting transfers.
It was really good points being brought up though about how a lot of the college teams that's in Cali, nobody watches football like that in Cali like that. Like Cali's a basketball state, and they're more so look at the Rams. Like nobody cares about the Rams. Like the football in California state is not like as impactful as people may think it should be. So I could see that generally leaving the in college football world, they leaving that and going to something else because they just playing. They're playing what they are with the viewership, and they're going to the next thing. Like, all right, let's go somewhere where we can make some money for real. So I can see that as a business move. I can see them getting the money in these other conferences they moving to.
That too, but also Ronaldo. I mean, California is one of maybe the 4 or 5 states within the U.S. that produces most of the college talent and the NFL talent. You got Florida, you got Georgia, you got Texas, Ohio, and California. Those are the power states.
I mean, the big ass states, of course.
Most of, in fact, like I said, a lot of national powerhouses in California. You got your Mater Days and your St. Bosco Preps, man. Like I said, the team. Yeah, some of the best high school teams, De La Salle from back in the day.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, De La Salle.
Oh yeah, De La Salle back in the day. They used to, boy, you talk about bring whoop sticks.
Mater Day, that's up in Maryland.
Huh?
I think Mater Day is in Maryland.
No, Mater Day is in California.
It is California. Oh yeah,
because I remember, Matt Liner played for. Mater Day's had a lot of dudes. I want to say Matt Barkley played for him, man. I said a lot of.
I want to say the Lopez twins. They played ball.
That might have been where Bryce Young came from.
Yeah, one of them. Yep, he's from one of them. You're right. You're definitely right about that, Jeff. So yeah, and C.J. Stroud's from there too. But I think he didn't play for. Yeah, he didn't play for Mater Day though. I forgot what school he played for, but yeah, he's from around that area as well because he grew up with Bryce Young. So yeah, but it's like I said, Stanford and Cal. Even though Stanford has a longer football tradition because John Elways, John Lynch's, man, they've had players come through there. But of course, when you're that academically inclined, that's what Stanford for. Excuse me, is that they're an Ivy. Like I said, they really are an Ivy League type school. But again with Jim Harbaugh, man, shit, they were beating. That was back when Pete Carroll might in fact Jim Harbaugh might be the reason that Pete Carroll left USC because Stanford was basically
it was out of those sanctions.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, I'm trying to be nice out there, y'all.
Nah.
I'm trying to be nice.
Oh, nah, man, we're gonna call it out now.
It was sanctions.
Nice, I'm saying that Jim Harbaugh running, Pete out there. Yeah. So yeah. Either way, it's crazy though. But yeah, we know why Pete left though. But again, Stanford was coming. Jim Harbaugh had Stanford humming. David Shaw for the first half of his career had Stanford humming. So they could do it, but they had to do it, their own way. And whether that way can actually translate to the new landscape of college football, still remains to be seen. So again, like you said, Ronaldo, it's definitely about we're in the era now where you're going to have to make decisions on whether or not you want to play big time football. But I want to say this though, man, and really leave this conversation on this. I think the next phase, I've read about it. You probably heard about this too, Jeff, since you follow college football. But I really think the next phase, like I said, we already touched on it too, man, is it being almost like a true feeder to the NFL or true, minor league. But I think college football will have to eventually break away from the other sports and actually create its own, just college football is its own entity because again, you can't have the Olympic sports, like your women's volleyball or even basketball, but just those sports like softball, baseball, traveling to imagine you're again a student athlete, because again, it's all about the student athletes traveling a weekday from Washington to Rutgers on a weekday. On a weekday, y'all. On a weekday.
That travel ain't no hoe, man. You're going probably down.
No, The Athletic actually has some good articles about some of the logistics about how they're going to about how the West Coast schools. I think in particular they talk about USC, UCLA, but we might as well put Washington and Oregon in that same category too about how they're going to travel, how they're going to handle traveling to the Big Ten. And yeah, they say it's going to be hard as shit, to basically paraphrase what was said. So yeah,
They're not like, it's not like they're gonna be on some lavishly jets and shit, and they're gonna be flying some regular ass planes.
They could be flying Frontier.
Or if they're not riding in it, they're not gonna be lavishing. That's all I can say. They're gonna be coming to that game looking hurt, and they might not play it right, but.
Oh no, but hey, media money though. But media money.
But they're not gonna get none of that. They're going the teams that the players that's coming in later on is gonna eat that up. But sacrifice, right?
Hey, that's exactly what it is, man.
Sacrifice. Let them crawl so the folks can fly.
Yep.
Yeah, like shit. Like these damn kids are already making like this one quarterback, what, $9 million? Like they already get these like now it's kind of a push for these kids to stay in the school longer and just collect this NIL money. Especially if they're not really all that good. And then try to go to the NFL.
Yeah, but that's the thing about shit.
If they ain't all that good, they shouldn't be trying to go to the NFL.
Right.
That motherfucker, you stay at home.
That money.
You just
Say that money up.
Oh man, come on now. Y'all already know.
T.O. and Johnny Manziel did.
I mean, like you give a 17-year-old high school kid $100,000. What's the first thing this kid's gonna do with that $100,000?
Strip club.
Well, besides strip club, he about to get a Lambo or he about to get him a Hellcat. You gonna have Hellcats all over the campus now?
We all want to hope these schools can also employ some kind of financial structure system too. Like let them learn how to do this, how to use this money wisely, whatnot. Because again, the other big part about it is that a lot of these players are not going to make it into the NFL. So get your money while you can. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing this, you're sacrificing your body, you're sacrificing your time for this. Get your money, but also, you know what I'm saying? Don't go into it expecting this your thing and then not getting the full advantage of your getting education as well. So like, gotta make it. You gotta try to see if they can meet like in the middle somehow, some way. Make this work it on both ends.
Yeah, I think some schools definitely offering that, and I think coaches having classes to set these guys up for better financial futures. But of course, as with all things, you have to actually take the advice, actually listen.
Yeah,
actually take the word, man. And again, money spends. You could be shocked at how fast money spends, and you gotta be smart with it, man, and don't learn the hard way. That money spends. I'll leave it at that. Money absolutely spends, though, y'all. But
I mean, y'all knew how we was on campus. We got a refund check. Imagine these kids now.
We kind of learned
straight to the line.
I'm hoping the schools that they know.
Yeah, I ain't talking about cocaine either.
I know.
For sure. Damn, who got the old ringtone?
Who got a photo?
Oh man, got a photo, man. That's crazy.
That's the money phone talking about Pat-12 leaving.
Right. Hey man, what you talking about?
They're looking at the podcast like, where the fuck that red jersey come from? What the fuck that?
Hey man, this is nice red jersey. I mean,
it is a nice red jersey.
The best, man. But shoot, man. Yeah, man. We're definitely in the new age, or at least a new age, coming up. But for right now, we're here to talk about the 2023 season. So on to our new business at hand. And like I said, man, we definitely here to give y'all the good information about these schools and these teams coming up and what we see coming up, for the season. So before we actually get into the new business, a quick rundown of what happened, or at least some things to keep in mind that happened during the off season. One of the biggest rule changes that's going to be something to definitely keep an eye on and may affect how games are going to be played and some strategies that's going to be employed is the fact that there are like untimed first downs, except for like the final 2 minutes of each half. So after every first down game, the clock doesn't stop, because in college football, and say you get a first down, the clock stops. Now it's not going to be the case until the final 2 minutes of each half. So yeah, that's probably going to be like the biggest, the biggest rule change in terms of how strategy is going to be employed by these coaches.
That's going to be interesting.
They definitely getting ready for the NFL, ain't they?
and plus, to really just to cut down on the times of the games, but I'm sorry though, I think that was unnecessary change for me personally. But again, that's just probably because I'm such a big college football stan. But I thought that rule was unnecessary. But
I think the rationale behind it is because you're about to have the 12-team playoffs, so they kind of speed the games up a little bit.
Yep, I can see that too.
Maybe, like I said, man. That's again more time to give these sponsors because again, media rights. So that's probably the biggest. That's probably one of the biggest changes that's going to happen, and conference realignment. Didn't just start this year. It has been happening, and so we've had a few schools actually move to conferences. During the off season. Or at least they'll officially be in conferences today. These moves have already happened, but these are the moves that's actually, are officially going to take place for the 2023 season. And we're going to start off with the Big 12. The Big 12's added 4 teams or at least 3 teams from the AAC and 2 teams for the said that, and 1 team from Independent. Man, we got BYU, Houston, UCF, and Cincinnati. Are new members of the Big 12 starting this season. So the Big 12's expanded, and in their place, Charlotte is coming up from Conference USA, as well as Florida Atlantic, North Texas, Rice, UAB, and UTSA. So they're all going to be going to the American Athletic Conference from Conference USA.
Not the Mean Green.
Yep, Mean Green. I sure the Mean Green got money, man. Believe it or not,
I can see that. It's Texas, ain't it? They got some oil
yeah.
rigs over there.
Y'all got money down there.
I say, and yeah, I
Texas got a lot of oil rigs. I ain't gonna lie. I done rode through the whole state from the widest part.
I know you have.
I done rode through the whole state. Oh, Texas got some oil rigs for sure. They still out there.
Yeah, that's why they got. Yeah, that's exactly why they got money though. But yep, and joining CUSA, this Conference USA
CUSA.
is going to be CUSA is New Mexico State, Liberty, Sam Houston, and Jacksonville State coming up from the A-Sun. They're going to be new members of
New Mexico State. New Mexico State.
I would have thought Liberty would have been moving to the Big 12. That's just my opinion. Now Liberty, they got some money. They got some money. So
honestly, if at least before then, I think they probably would have been a better candidate for the ACC if the ACC actually knew how to run their shit.
Yeah,
but I don't know if the other Virginias, how the Virginia schools would have actually thought.
Hell, they
probably
would have
handled it. So
that's probably the best football team in Virginia right now.
Right now, absolutely. Right now, they're definitely
them and down maybe James Madison.
Oh yeah, the Dukes, formerly of FCS though. So and to put a pin on the conference realignment for this coming season, Kennesaw State. Shout out to them. They will be leaving the A-Sun Conference for Conference USA, but this year they're actually playing an independent schedule.
Oh really?
Yeah. Well,
I would like to see
they
them.
will remain in the A-Sun and other sports, but football is joining Conference USA beginning next season. So
I kind of would want them to join the Sun Belt and let that commuter school go somewhere else. Maybe let them go back to FCS.
I love the pettiness. I love the pettiness, man. But shoot, man, but you know what, man. So again, that's pretty much the primer for 2020 for 2023. Like I said, man, we already have the AP. The AP poll's been put out. Media days were last month. So again, the previews are out. Now it's our turn, to take a shot at this. And Guys, I'm not going to bury the lead, man. We're just going to get to it. Looks like we got enough people, joining us. Comment section, the banging. We might as well start at the SEC and start with the defending national champions, man. Like I said again,
Wait.
We definitely got our guest on. So again, we're definitely going to start at the very top. So hey, how are we feeling, Jeff?
It's going to be a
I'm feeling
three-peat.
pretty damn good. I'm feeling pretty good. It's gonna just be a smooth transition.
Three-peat.
We should not miss a step having Carson Beck behind the center, to be honest. We've kind of taken the blueprint of Alabama and ran with it.
I wonder why. I wonder how.
Yeah. I wonder how too. I really do. But I think that Kirby has a good system in place to where talent goes out and talent comes back in. I'm not going to be so naive as to say that Alabama hasn't reloaded either, but I'm not really sold on Monroe or what's the other guy that just came from Notre Dame? Beck, whatever his name is. I don't know his name, so he's not even the board. But Florida could come back on the up and up, and South Carolina. I'm not gonna say that we're gonna just run away with it, but I like our chances.
Yeah, Georgia got an easy ass schedule.
I was looking at Georgia's.
They might have trouble against.
Play the games. You got to still play the games.
Yeah,
On paper, it's easy, but I'm not going to run past Tennessee because they got that Milton kid at quarterback.
Yeah, that's the only hard game they got is against Tennessee.
Florida could be Florida. You never know. They may have a game. South Carolina, they got.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it till we get there.
No, we talking about the schedule now, T man. Like I said, we're touching. We're touching on the schedule,
Florida,
but again, we're not
gonna be in that ass.
Minutia. We're not gonna get to a lot of the minutia of the individual games, though. But I definitely exactly see where you're coming from. Like I said, games still need to be played, even though the schedule's still cake. I'm just gonna say the schedule's still cake, but like I said, there's definitely some landmines, or at least. Again, if you don't get your mind right, this could be something that you don't want, man. We're gonna talk about some of these teams, more, but again, y'all, don't sleep on having to play injured hair against Deacon Freeze.
Yes.
Deacon Freeze is known to pull some shit.
Oh yeah. And we ain't talking about sanctions, are we?
You already know he got those little strippers on speed dial. And then they all got money now too, man. It's about to be on.
Oh yeah, and don't forget, Ole Miss. That's actually a game I also want to check out when Ole Miss comes to town.
Yeah,
between the hedges,
I was just gonna
fighting Lane Kiffins.
I was gonna say, man,
has the most punchable face ever.
I was gonna say, Ole Miss might give Georgia some fits depending on how they play in this season, and that might give Tennessee the blueprint, to beat Georgia. That's all I can see, but yeah.
But here's one thing I want to ask about Georgia, though, man. Like I said, of course we know the talent. Again, they're definitely kings of the hill. So right now, though, but I still, like you said, everybody's gonna have questions, though. So I think one of my questions is, I actually had a conversation with another friend of the show, man. Shout out to my boy, Odas Demetrius, man. So we had a conversation. He's not as bullish, I would say, on Carson Beck as you seem to be, Jeff. I think that both Brock and Gunnar Stockton may have higher ceilings as athletic, prototypes at the position. But again, I think there's something about, at least knowing the offense or knowing what you're doing. And it seems like, again, between those three, Carson seems to know what he's doing.
Who's the offensive coordinator with Georgia now?
Mike Bobo. That's another question too. I was just about to say Mike Bobo. That was another question I was actually about to get into also, man. It's like
that's something that I'm kind of hesitant about.
That's my biggest question.
Mike Bobo like that.
Because again, y'all ready to, don't forget, man, 10 years ago, y'all ready to run that man out of town when he was with Mark Richt.
Still trying to run Mike Rick out of town too. But
Yeah,
Boy,
Barry already
Mike
run
Bobo,
Mike Bobo out of
bruh.
town. Of course, the same Mike Bobo
Shit.
told Deshaun Watson that he would never be able to play in this system.
They gave Bobo
But-
hell.
You know what though?
as
Kirby
they
ain't gonna let this
should.
shit happen though. Kirby ain't gonna let it happen. Like if
It's-
Mike Bobo start fucking play calls, gonna be like, hey man, you know you messed
I
up the
can,
whole,
I can see Kirby like, all right,
messed it up over here.
that's what
You know, pull it rank.
Mhm.
that's
You definitely got to though, man. But yeah, but of course, you don't lose all of the talent that you do off of Georgia's team. And expect to be like lockstep. Even though we know how great Kirby has recruited, the past to damn near it's a half decade now. So yeah, they're gonna have definitely some talented guys. And I think some of the young guys I'm really excited about, particularly Michael Williams. Shout out Columbus, Georgia, the defensive end. I think he's going to be a star.
Did he go to Carver?
Hardaway.
Oh, okay.
And I know somehow somebody that talented didn't get to Carver is kind of it's definitely kind of amazing. So yeah, it's definitely very interesting in its own right though. But yeah, Michael Williams, I'm definitely excited to see exactly what he can bring. I've heard some mixed things about the wide receiver transfers.
still a fan of your tight end, man. Still a fan of your
Brock.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Brock Bowers,
Brock
yeah.
Bowers out there, yeah.
Good. That's a good guy right there. So I'm
And then we got Branson Robinson. We still got some horses in the backfield, man.
That's the thing about it though, man. In he hurt. I think that's the position that I'm reading. At least what I thought I read on the forums that they were worried about. Even though I think Dejon Edwards is still a good back though, but with Branson being hurt now, and of course Kendall Milton stays hurt though.
Oh,
man.
I forgot about him.
I actually thought he was going to actually, I thought he was going to be a problem, but again, the best ability is availability, and unfortunately, that hasn't been Kendall Milton's career at Georgia so far. But again, if they could get him healthy, especially Branson Robinson, he's a SIP boy, so.
Oh yeah, he from the SIP.
Yep. But I'm definitely but like you said, Jeff, man, it's like you said. I don't think no one's perfect, but like I said, man, the schedule definitely breaks well for y'all, man. And I still got y'all as favorites overall in the East. Like I said, I definitely see y'all again going back to the SEC championship game. Like I said, that's my spoiler alert for who exactly is going to make it to make it. We do the
We
SEC
left one team out
conference.
so far. We left one team out that you got to still watch out for.
Alabama.
Nope.
No, we're not talking about the West yet. No, like I said, just about the schedule.
Oh, okay.
What who? Kentucky?
Hell no.
I actually think Kentucky's actually going to. I think Kentucky's going to be. We'll talk about it later, man. But who you about to say, Jeff?
Well, I did kind of jump over to the West, because y'all talk about Ole Miss, we talk about Alabama, but LSU, they still are the champions of the West.
I was about to say I was about to like I said we'll get into LSU. Like I said, we'll get to everybody. Like I said, I think I got some pretty strong opinions about LSU that they'll probably going to find interesting though, man. But like I said, right now, with Georgia and their schedule, I definitely like them to make it. Like I said, I'm going to choose later on who I think is going to win the SEC. But right now, I definitely think Georgia can at least make it, though. And
noise.
Tariq, man, you had on the mic, player. But you know what?
What about
Just for
Texas
the Florida Gators fan that I saw pop up in the
Hold on, fuck
chat,
Georgia.
y'all do got that transfer
I don't even
quarterback
care
from
if they're
Wisconsin.
going to be number one.
Because you
They
got what's his
preseason
name,
number one. I
Brown.
don't even give a
Brown
damn.
Mertz. So
yeah, that's what I'm about to say, bro.
It is what it is, bro.
But
bro,
hold on. Since
Georgia on my side.
I was gonna wait later to be Florida, but since Jeff brought him up, man, what on earth is going on in Gainesville right now?
There's a lot of things going on in Gainesville right now, but the rebuilding process is on. Georgia got that thing going on, man. Hey, when Tebow and all his friends was there, nobody was getting shit out of goddamn SEC East. No one was getting shit out of them. So everybody has their chance. Everybody has got their turn, bro. So Georgia got their turn right now, man. They doing their thing. Shout out to Georgia. But hey, when it comes to that Georgia-Florida game, cocktail party, I'm ain't never changing. And I'm always going for Florida Gators. If they lose by big, if they lose by 1 point, if we win, hey, it's all good. But I'm always going for my boys and never changing on that. But hey, we rebuilding. We lost Anthony Richardson to the damn Colts, and he only played 1 year. So I mean, like, damn. And then they just showed some highlights. I watched the highlights from the game. This motherfucker's still throwing off a back foot, leaning back, and threw a pick. But somehow he's QB1. So I don't fucking know, dog.
Hell, who was
I
that?
don't I don't fucking know. They got Gardner Minshew up there, and they got some other people up there, and then Matt Ryan was there, but Matt Ryan is just everywhere.
Matt Ryan's a free agent, bro.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just whatever. So they're gonna put the rookie quarterback that they picked at number 4 at QB1. Hey man, do you think? But like I said in our group chat, are you sure? Are you fucking sure about that, my guy? Because
you need to see what he had sooner rather than later. That's the thing about it. You need to see what he had sooner rather than later. You need to see yesterday if the dude could actually, if you could actually get something out of him. That's the reason why he's being put out there.
They're saying that he can. They're saying that he's show good at camp, show good at OTA, show good at training camp, and he's QB1. But he's not going to practice. Bro, he's not going to. From the interception I saw him throw, no. It ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be good for the Colts, and that's good because they're my Jags division. So we're gonna beat their ass up.
Colts say they ain't trying to win shit this year. They know exactly what time it is. Like you said, they just trying to get this man experience where he can.
He gonna be like Trevor Lawrence was. He gonna be like Trevor Lawrence was his first season, 2-14, or shit. He might not win no fucking game.
Got 2-14 because of that. I'm trying to tell y'all.
Saying, like, look, Anthony Richardson is not your starting quarterback. But hey, Colts, do what you want to do. Y'all got rid of y'all best running back, so. There it is.
The owner already don't give a damn. He's like, listen, your ass can be replaced.
He don't at all. So I'm just saying, man, like the Gators are rebuilding. Shout out to Florida State, they're doing their thing. Shout out to Miami, they're doing their thing. Fuck the rest of the Florida colleges. Hey man. It's just it's Florida State, then Florida, and hey, we'll be ready to see y'all at the end of the season at fucking Thanksgiving, and we'll be ready to see Uga. We'll be ready to see Uga at the cocktail party. So it's whatever, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, but again,
I don't give a damn.
Yeah, we know you're a fan, T. But again, man, how do you think Florida season is going? Are y'all going to have a winning record though? That's the thing about it, though.
We're gonna have a winning record
this year.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna at least get 6 games, bro. At least
6 games.
Hey, bowl eligible, bro. You see all these bowls out here, man. We trying to get bowl eligible. Man. We gotta come back up. We ain't Georgia status. I'll admit that we not Georgia status right now. But when
But
we
the-
was
but-
with Tebow and everybody else, Georgia wasn't talking about shit.
Oh, Georgia was
But do you
trash.
think Billy
Okay
Napier
then,
is
okay
the
then.
answer at
So
head
okay
coach?
then. So Georgia was trash when Florida was talking that shit. So Florida trash right now, and Georgia talking that shit. So do you
But hey,
think,
hold
man?
on,
We
hold on,
giving
hold
it
on,
to
hold on,
y'all,
hold on.
man. We giving it to
As
y'all,
a
man. Do you
disclaimer, though,
think?
Georgia was never technically trash. We always won like 10 games.
Bitch,
We
we
just
always
could not get over the
y'all
hump
wasn't shit.
because of Mark
But y'all
Richt.
wasn't shit. We'll tell you about what that.
And then we got rid of his
Y'all
ass.
wasn't shit. Y'all
We got
wasn't
rid of
shit.
his
They
ass.
won one
Y'all
game
won some
against
shit.
Tebow,
Brought in a
though.
winner.
Y'all won some shit when Tebow was there?
They did.
Can I hear you?
Nah,
I can't hear you.
but, you know,
Okay then. Shit. Get y'all shit now. Get y'all shit now. And once Florida rebuild, don't fucking call me, get my phone number now. Cause I want to talk cash shit. I'm gonna talk cash shit at the cocktail party. I'm gonna talk cash shit every time. Every time. So y'all got it, man. Hey, everybody get their chances, bruh. But when Florida
gotta
was
take
winning their
advantage of it,
shit,
though.
Georgia wasn't saying a damn thing. And Georgia ain't been saying a
Oh,
damn
no,
thing
that's
for a
one thing I
long
will say.
time.
Georgia was still talking. That's the one thing I would at least give Georgia's fan base, though, man. Like I said, even in the 40 years
Yeah.
between championships, Georgia folks were still talking. I will give that.
No,
to them.
Georgia folks were still talking, but their team wasn't doing shit. And that's what
We
I'm
could have
getting
had
at.
2012,
The
though.
team,
We could have had 2012. That
y'all
is
could
still
have
probably one
had,
of the
y'all
best
could have
games
had
that
some
I've ever
shit.
seen.
Y'all could have had some shit. Y'all could have had
But-
some shit. But did y'all have shit? No. Okay
We do
then.
not know.
I'm just
Hey, we
talking.
do
I'm
not
just
know.
talking about what I'm talking about.
We do
Just
not
talking
know.
about what I'm talking about.
Last
baby.
time I checked,
Hey,
we won
Georgia
2
got that shit
national
right now.
championships
Bruh,
in a row
bruh,
in the
Georgia
college
got-
football playoff area.
Bruh, as a Florida fan,
So
I
I'm talking that
bleed-
shit.
I bleed the blue and orange all day.
Y'all
But
got,
y'all got y'all shit right now.
Get y'all shit
But
together.
when y'all, but when we was doing our thing, y'all was talking about shit. Y'all was talking, but y'all wasn't doing shit.
Well,
So,
Sharif,
y'all
right
do
now
y'all
you talking
shit
about
right now.
the past.
Go ahead and get out of the way.
And I'm
Go
talking
ahead
about
and
the
get your shit out of the
present.
way.
And at this
Go
present
ahead.
moment,
No, I'm
we
saying
beat
y'all
some
got
ass
it.
right now.
I never said y'all ain't got it, dog. I never said y'all ain't got it right now. But I'm just saying, when we get back rap, hey, fucking fuck with us, bruh. Fuck with
Hey,
us.
there's always hope, man. But for the foreseeable future, I really don't see that happening, man. I hate to tell you.
Y'all ain't gonna do
Damn.
shit, bruh.
I don't think so.
Y'all ain't gonna do a goddamn thing.
I will
bruh.
say this though. I will
Fuck
say
You
this
heard
though.
me.
Hold on. I will say this though.
Fuck y'all.
Hold on, guys. I will say this though. I will say this. I think if Florida, I think Vegas has their win totals. Even though I'm not into the gambling thing. If you are, say God bless you. But the win totals for Florida, according to Vegas, is like 5.5. It's like 5.5 win totals for Florida. I think Florida will win more than 5 games. Like I said, I think they can, go 6-6, but I tell you, the big game is the first game against Utah.
Baby.
The
yeah,
big
we
game,
play-
like I said,
we play
again,
Utah.
if
We play
Florida,
Utah.
if Florida wants to win at least 7 games in the regular season, I think that Utah game at Utah is probably going to be the biggest swing game. It was a loss. It was. I thought it was a loss until I heard that Utah's quarterback Cam Rising is actually coming off of an ACL injury, and he may not. He won't be 100% by the time that game's played. So
Don't
again,
come out there if you're 100% now.
I think what we learned about the Florida game when Utah played Florida last year is that they still have some athletes that can actually.
Utah could have won it.
They could have. Yeah, Cam.
Could have won.
They probably should have, but again, Cam Rising, again, that interception is heard of though. But again, that just shows you that Florida still got some horses to at least give a team like a Utah fits. Because again, like I said, that's the main thing about it, man. Like I said, that you could if you're small on the line of scrimmage, that's one thing at least we'll give Billy. The Billy's gonna put some big boards. That's really how Billy he wants to play bully ball. I think that's one of the things that I'm worried most about Florida is the fact that they had a lot of Osiris Torrance, their best guard, of course, went to the NFL last year. They had two other guys transfer out. Another guy who was a former 5-star who was at Kentucky. He transferred, to be closer to, to an A-League family member. So are they going to have, enough on the line to play the type of offense that they want to? Considering that, again, they got, of all the quarterbacks they had to get was Graham damn Mertz, probably one of the worst P5 starters. And that's the main thing, though. I think Billy's doing good. He has a top 3 recruiting class right now, but I question his recruiting in the transfer portal so far. And in fact, if they would have got Michael Pratt from Tulane, if they actually would have gotten him and he was their quarterback going in, I could probably see Florida as like Florida as like an 8-win team because he's a pretty good quarterback. But for what they got now, and like T said, man, they're still trying to build up. This is probably going to be another tough year. That's tough year to probably get to 500. And yeah, if they do get to a bowl game, they have to win that bad boy, man. Because again, Florida folks ain't going to tolerate 3 straight losing seasons.
That's what I was going to ask.
Billy might be on demon time.
Is he on the hot seat? Is he on the hot seat?
Sir.
I'm gonna say Billy. Hold on, Jeff. I'm gonna say something, man. I think demon time. I think he's on demon time, Jeff. I think Billy's on demon time I think he's on demon time this season because again, have y'all looked at Florida's 2024 schedule? That shit is wild.
Oh God, fire!
Florida's 2024. If Billy can't make something shake this coming year, man, he's
getting fired.
It's gonna be rough.
It's gonna be rough. Yeah, like you said, man. Because that's again, Billy make something. That's all I gotta say, man. Make something shake. Make something shake in 2023, Billy. Definitely make something shake, man. Make something shake, though, man. But yeah, man. But shoot, staying in the SEC East, man. Like you said, y'all talked about it before, man. Tennessee might be the biggest challenge to Georgia right now in the East. Josh Heupel has that thing humming. The fear and shoot offense.
That's what she said.
But Reggie, I have a bold prediction about Josh Heupel.
What's that?
Venables is going to get fired within the next couple of years, and Josh Heupel is going to go to Oklahoma.
You saying Venables?
Yeah.
Why would he get fired?
He's one mid-ass head coach.
He's only his first year, man. Again, I think we'll see. We'll see. We'll see when we get to Oklahoma. Like I said, man. Again,
why are we not giving coaches time, man? Why are we not giving coaches time to get
the same reason why we're not giving players time? It's all about what have you done for me last year. That's why these kids, they got the big head now towards like, you know what? I'm going to chase the money. I'm going to go to 4 different schools in 4 different years because they're going to all give me money. No kind of allegiance, no kind of alliance anymore. No kind of, man, I chose this school because I used to look at this school when I was like a little kid.
Deion Sanders kids are on the top of that list.
Prime example, yeah. Prime, no pun intended.
It's pun intended for sure.
Oh yeah, goddamn prime.
But I mean, but hey, man, like I said, it is what it is now, man. Like I said, I don't think it's quite too where you're saying it. You're saying it now, Jeff. Because again, JT Daniel just transferred because he just mid.
Where the hell he's at now?
I think Rice. I want to say. Actually, heard
he's at Rice.
Rice,
something like that. Man.
Ain't no Rice to go to Rice. What are you talking about, man? Come on, JT Daniels, bro, just let it go.
That man's so trash.
If you have to go to Rice, bro, Rice ain't nowhere talked about. Man. We're the only people talking about Rice right now. Like, we need
to change that, Tarif. We definitely need to change that, though, man. But again, going back to Tennessee, man. Going back to Tennessee, y'all.
Like I said, fuck the Volunteers.
So Joe Milton.
But anyway, go ahead.
Joe Milton, I think, is pretty. Joe Milton, it might be time. Like I said, again, I was somebody who I was ready to give up on after he left Michigan. But again, if he can ball up what he did in that bowl game against Clemson, you know, they might have something, man. They still have some athletes left, and again, like we pointed out, Georgia has to go to Knoxville this year, so that game probably won't be. It probably won't be a walk in the park, though, man. But again, like I said, I think everything's going to have to, you know, it's going to depend on, you know, Joe Milton and see if he actually has it together. And like I said, man, it should be. It's definitely, you know, should be, you know, another good year. Like I said, that we're not going to talk about everything else. They've also recruited very well. They have to travel to Florida. Like I said, that probably shouldn't be, you know, an easy game though. But I think it's something, you know, they can handle. They got A&M. They got A&M coming to town. They have to travel to Alabama, so that should be interesting. And at Kentucky, and I'm not going to say Missouri, whatever though. But Kentucky should be interesting. You know, Kentucky should be an interesting swing game as well, because I think Kentucky's actually improved, and they actually got a quarterback, and they actually got an offensive coordinator that actually may be a whole lot better than what was there last year. So, yeah.
Talking about Will Levis.
I mean, we kind of slid past it just a little bit, but are we? You know, is this Tuscaloosa? Is this Nick Saban time to come back?
I don't know, man, because I'm not really sold on those quarterbacks.
Yeah,
that's it.
Because the quarterback for Notre Dame really wasn't much to talk about. And that Monroe kid that took over for Bryce Young when he got hurt, he was garbage. I mean, literally, he just ran to throw. He really didn't have no kind of pocket presence. He was just pretty much running, and then he would just throw the run. And I just don't like it.
And even with that, the guy who's supposed to be the better prospect, Ty Simpson, still ain't beating them out. That says something. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it, but I will say this though, man. I actually listened to a podcast, and they said, you know, this is the stat that was crazy, and it's also something, you know, that also shows that you probably don't want to, you know, doubt Nick Saban too much, but of the past six, you know, 6 high school recruiting classes, or at least three of the top 6 recruiting classes of all time are still playing on the University of Alabama's campus, which means that is still a very, very talented team that Nick Saban is still bringing back. I mean, everything again, it's vintage Nick Saban. Great offensive line play. So you have, you know, the great, you know, 4 or 5-star defenders. Even though Nick has said throughout camp that you know, some of the front 7 guys hasn't been as consistent as we thought, and the wide receivers are you know, the drops are concerning for a lot of their wide receivers. In fact, we saw that last year. One of the reasons Bryce Young just didn't have great years because his receivers let him down a lot of times. The receivers had the drops.
Yeah, they still got
Kool-Aid back there.
Yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Oh yeah. One of the top corners. Yeah, one of the top corners. You know, coming back in the possible. More than likely, he's going to be an NFL draft pick. So yeah, their corners are still pretty good. Safeties might be a little suspect, but everything else, you know, is still you know, it's a vintage Saban. But like you said, Jeff, that's honestly the reason I don't have Alabama as the best West team this year. Because like you said, those quarterbacks, the quarterback play, again, I understand bully ball. Like, again, you talk about somebody whose high school was definitely, you know, wing T Mavis. We ran the wing T like no other back you know, when we ran high school. So I definitely love, you know, pulling guards, running the football. But again, this is a day and age in you know, college where you said it, Jeff. You have to have some sort of pocket presence if you want to play quarterback at a high level, and if you want to actually, you know, get to the big game.
Now, also, Reggie, just to add on an extra layer, we talked about Mike Bobo as the OC. How do you feel about Tom Reese coming from down Notre Dame to down Alabama with his quarterback? And they were already mid last year with Notre Dame. Now, granted, Alabama's defense will build them out of a lot of situations, but you got to still win the game on offense too. So watch out for that.
Absolutely.
I'm almost certain that Tom Reese is going to start his quarterback, but you got to produce.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, Jeff, I'm glad you asked that because I thought Bama could have done better than Tommy Reese, if we're being completely honest. I thought that was definitely a hire, but again, I've been reading in the doing the off season that apparently Saban just wasn't a fan, even though again they won with him. He still wasn't a fan of the offenses that even then back to Kiffin, he wasn't. We know, man. Saban was the first one to bitch about the RPO on the spread before anybody, and then that same season,
he got Jalen Hurts. He got
he ran RPOs. Yep, he ran RPO and he ran the spread. So apparently again, Saban, wants to go back to playing Saban ball and bully ball. So basically, he got Tommy Reese to run the type of offense that Saban wants to see.
That's what I can almost try to say that Georgia about damn near did the same thing because that's what Mike Bobo did back in the day. Sure, we had passes going here and there, but it was still about pounding ground.
I mean, but then do it.
Huh?
If you got the running backs to do it, then do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just let that defense.
Horses in the stable. Horses in the stable.
Yeah, and like I said, man, that's still a very, very talented Alabama team. So yeah, I mean they said they can, but like you said, but again, I have too many questions about the quarterbacks too. There, I'm definitely with you on that, man. The quarterbacks for Bama. Again, if I was a Bama fan, I would definitely be worried. If you get into close contest with Texas and LSU, and your quarterback has to make a play. And again, not to mention that your wide receivers apparently, or again, it's practice, it's camp. I'm not saying this is going to be, the case when the season starts, though. But if the receivers aren't who we think they are, that's usually, a pretty good, indicator of what we can expect for the upcoming season. Because again, we can only go back to what we see, or at least what we hear about. We're soon going to definitely see exactly, what's going to, go on in Tuscaloosa. But like I said, man, they hope their toughest games. They do host. They host. They host. They host Tennessee and they host LSU. So that's definitely help. But I think they also travel, to the Plains as well, and to face good old Deacon Freeze. So yeah. Like I said, Alabama. Like I said, I think they're don't get me wrong. They're going to be a tough out. But again, I don't think Alabama's winning the SEC West.
Just the SEC overall this year, I think you have a lot of new quarterbacks.
Yeah,
they're going to have to prove themselves.
Absolutely,
they're going to have to prove themselves. Because right now, this is almost weird to say, but the cream of the crop, within the SEC right now is Spencer Rattler. Yeah,
don't have
Jaden Daniels. And
I'll take honestly. I think I'll take both Jaden Daniels and KJ Jefferson over Bart Simpson.
Oh shoot, I forgot about KJ Jefferson. He's still hanging on. Okay,
yeah, he's still in Arkansas. Yep, he's still in Arkansas.
I forgot about it.
Yep, absolutely, Jeff. So yeah, man. Like I said, we definitely they definitely still have him, man. And I'll definitely take either one of them over Bart. And I think. If y'all know who Bart is, like Jeff said, that's Spencer Rattler, though, man.
Bart, man.
Ever since B pointed that out, though, man, I still
He do like Bart, man. Bart. I said it, though, man. I said it first.
Yeah, Jeff said this shit.
Yeah, you did. You showed them. Yeah. B did share for the Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. Like, yeah, all credit definitely to the legend for that one, man. But yeah, like I said, I don't know about y'all. I'm not too high on South Carolina this year. I think they lost too much to other teams in the transfer portal. And I think they just what they did the last two games against Tennessee and Clemson. I think were lightning in the bottle. I think Spencer Rattler has shown that he's much more of the quarterback that we saw during Oklahoma in the first part of his career at South Carolina than what we saw in those last 2 games. Again, the kid's talented. I'm not saying he isn't, but again, consistency. We still haven't seen anything to show that he could be a high level, consistent player. And again, who's really a big offensive playmaker in South Carolina like that? I want really thinking that they're gonna actually make some moves this year.
Yeah.
So that's my take on the Gamecock show. I don't know if y'all have anything else, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, there really ain't much to talk about. I mean, they really.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If y'all don't know me, we're not gonna talk about every single team really in depth, good listeners, man. So this is the college football preview show. Y'all know some teams are gonna be worth talking about more. And again, no disrespect to any South Carolina fans that we have listening though, but yeah, y'all.
It's about two fans.
There we go. South Carolina women's.
You have another big fan there. You never know, but they're not even close.
Yeah, like I said, I definitely still got Tennessee in being the challenger in the East though, man. But again, going back to the West, man. Like I said, I definitely think LS. I have LSU as still my team to beat in the West. And that's mainly because again they have a better quarterback position. I think they have steady wide receivers, and like I said again they're still a pretty talented team. Even though their head man, I can't stand Brian Kelly, but at least in terms of X's and O's, he knows what the hell he's doing on the football field. I'll give him credit for that.
I put Brian Kelly in that same arena as Lane Kiffin. They're all right. They will win some games, but they mid as fuck, man. Excuse my language, people, but they are mid at best.
Mid.
They are going to choke when it really comes down to it. That's
Brian,
where because I can speak on that because that's how Mark Richt was for Georgia. He always got you there. You always was within the conversation, but when it came time to show some action and to get down to it, he never could.
He can beat Georgia Tech every now and then.
About Florida. What's that, Brandon?
I said he can beat Georgia Tech every now and then. So.
Right. But man, who the hell care about Georgia Tech? Win the big games.
I mean,
that is true.
They care about it because that's the only team that should be represented in Atlanta. Not.
Yeah. That is true.
That is so weird about Georgia Tech because you got Atlanta, man. Like I know this coach, Greg Collins, or whatever his name is, tried to do the 4-4 Waffle House and all that bullshit. It's like, man, you got all this talent within the whole Atlanta metropolitan area, and nobody's going to go there.
He's from Conyers, so
because again, nobody wants to play for a team that hasn't won anything since 1990. That's the thing about it, man. Nobody believes. Nobody believes in what Georgia Tech can do because and even in Atlanta, again, we know Georgia's a one school state, y'all. Let's just call it for what it is, man. I mean, folks, again, Tech being a tech school and as specialized as they are, people aren't going to technical. The only people who are going to technical schools are those who really focus on being engineers. And I'm not going, and this isn't me, getting on the engineer type folks, though, man. But if you know an engineer, if we have engineers listed, shit, y'all know this too. Engineers are different people. Yeah, they're different people, and a lot of their focus and their interests don't always, align with supporting a football program, or at least supporting a program that can actually continuously compete, on the national stage. That's what Georgia Tech. I mean, Georgia Tech, they have the alumni and the money to support a program. They just don't.
Yeah.
They just don't.
It's crazy because their stadium is right dead in the middle of fucking Atlanta.
Yeah.
Nice ass view, man, because I've been to a couple of games there before. I mean, you just looked at the whole city in the background, I mean.
Yeah, it's wild it is. You kind of can't tell when they present it on the TV, but like if you look outside of the stadium and say like, yeah, it's Atlanta right there, but nobody's associating Georgia Tech with Atlanta, so it just ain't that work. words.
Sad to say, Georgia State is more associated than Georgia Tech is, to be honest.
These are facts. These are facts.
That's embarrassing.
That is embarrassing, and I hate to say that. I got to take a sip of wine after that one.
How we all might need to drink after that one.
Anyway,
Bad taste in my mouth, man.
Yeah, the only time I root for Georgia, they play Georgia State.
Word.
And I probably won't
I give you
happen.
that. Hey, you know
Yeah.
what, Brandon? I know your deep-rooted hate for Georgia, and I would definitely take that.
Yeah, might even say go Dogs. They play on Georgia State.
Not bring up
Funny
all the
thing
shit
is-
though, but hey, it definitely felt good after Georgia won that first natty. It's where you had to, give us our rose.
Oh, yeah.
That
Yeah,
felt great,
I mean,
man.
I gave y'all credit where it's due. Y'all 2 straight season. I mean, yeah. I can't talk that much shit like I want to, but damn, that shit sucks for real. I can't talk as much shit I want to, but yeah.
Well, yeah.
So that means that we gotta go ahead and do a
You definitely
three-peat,
gotta
man.
love, though. Yeah.
Also, do that three-peat very quick, like.
But again, man. But again, let's just go back to LSU right quick, man. So what? It does your thoughts on Brian Kelly? You think is that the reason why he won't win the SEC West, Jeff?
I think he's going to probably fumble it because that's how he was at Notre Dame. I mean, he had the talent. I mean, you go back to when he first started coaching, even back when he was at Cincinnati. I mean, great coach.
Did he have the talent at Notre Dame, though? That's the thing.
Yeah.
He has good recruiting classes. Did he really have motion like that at Notre Dame?
He had a good ass offensive line, probably. That's it.
Yeah, the offense. Yeah, the lines were good. Yeah, I'll definitely give you
I
that.
think it's also sometimes it's his offensive scheme.
Yeah.
Like I think it's the scheme as well because honestly, when he went to Notre Dame, he kind of like restructured the way that the whole team operated, to where it was kind of more like spread pass, spread option, or whatever. But the quarterbacks that he had, they were kind of subpar at best. Who's the one black kid that went to the national championship? I think it was Wimbush or somebody. What happened to him?
Malik Zaire, whatever his name is.
I was about to say,
Ian
Malik
Book.
Zaire. I think he transferred to
Oh
Florida.
yeah, Malik Zaire. I forgot about him
Yeah,
too.
Malik Zaire.
Ian
Remember
Book.
Deshaun Kaiser?
Oh,
Oh
shit.
shit! I forgot about Kaiser.
Did he get
He
drafted
was
by the
also
Browns?
subpar. He played for the
I thought
Browns for a year or
Kaiser was
two.
going to be a whole lot better than what he turned out to be, man.
That's what I mean. Like he has these offenses. He
Damn,
has
Brady
these guys that have the potential, but they can't execute. And so I blame him. So if LSU just can't get over the hump, because honestly, I would not have fired Coach O. I would have kept his Cajun ass down there. He was LSU.
He was LSU, but I don't think he was a great coach either, man. He benefited from having again that 2019 was a lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
He
Nothing wrong with that though. A win's a win.
Yeah, but again, you have to sustain though, and it just fell off a cliff. Again, you know what? And like you said, it happens because the same thing happened with Jimbo at Florida State.
Yeah.
Catch lightning here in Apollo. Like I said again, I'll be the first to admit, man. Thank God for 2013, man, but the motherfucker couldn't sustain it, and we see exactly what type of coach he is at Texas A&M. So again, he's somebody. He's going to get you good talent. He's going to, he's going to stack your team with a good roster. But the coaching at the end of the day is still going to leave a whole lot to be desired. And I think Ed Orgeron had a lot of that. He's going to recruit his ass off, but you better get somebody like a Joe Brady, to definitely clean up the coaching side of things. Because again, X's and O's. Joe Brady's in the NFL because again he didn't like recruiting. Joe Brady didn't like recruiting, man. So yeah, he's in the NFL. So I think he's with the Bills. I want to say
Because he was with I think that
He was with the Panthers.
I think. Gosh, what's the guy that used to be the quarterback?
yeah, he was an OC with the Panthers, but
Quarterback at Miami from back in the day. The one that won that national championship in 2001. Gosh, what is his name? Ken Dorsey.
Ken Dorsey,
I
yeah.
think he's still
Ken
the OC.
Dorsey.
Yeah, no, he ain't the OC. I think he's like the pass game coordinator or something like that. I don't think he's the
Yeah,
OC
yeah.
though. That's the thing.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, He tried his best with doing working in Carolina. That didn't work out at all. So
Exactly. I actually thought it would have. I actually thought it would have worked out a whole lot better in Carolina than it did, though. But
that man had everything he could use too. He still couldn't make nothing work. But hey, whatever.
Because Matt Rule was like fried tuck out there with the hoodie on backwards. He just didn't have it, man. So he went back to college to where he can do a little bit better job. I mean, that's just proof. Whatever you don't got the juice, you just don't have the juice.
yeah.
Look, NFL is a whole different beast, man. Sometimes you just need to play in your lane. That's all. Play in your lane.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely, absolutely, man. So yeah. Like I said, man, I definitely, like I said, I think LSU has what it takes to make a run. Even though I think the ceiling is capped off by how well Jada Daniels. I think Jada Daniels will get the start. I think at least he'll be the one to get the start against FSU in the season opener. I think the kid he's gotten better, but again, he's somebody again who. So can he actually, can he actually unlock the potential of the offense? Next, or at least this coming year, rather. That's going to be the key, man, because they got another quarterback who's probably just as capable as he is, but he's just not the dual threat that Jaden is. And again, I definitely give it to Jaden, man. I thought Jaden was a lost cause when he was at Arizona State, but he got to LSU, man, and. I said that he definitely has proven to play a whole lot better than I thought he would have. So again, shout out to him. Just don't play, too well. Just don't play too well, in that first game again, man. But again, like I said, I've touched on A&M, and
let's talk about.
No, we did touch
talk about right now.
Hold on, they're going to be an interesting service to follow because Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino. That can either work out well or it could be hot ass garbage.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy.
Texas ATM.
Yeah,
and you know what? They're not getting back. They're not getting a lot back on their investment either, which is the funny thing.
Texas.
They are not getting back on their investment.
I'm about to join conference for a second, but you can say the same thing about Michigan State because they try to give Mel Tucker all that money.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be gone for more years.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's all guaranteed too.
$10 million go 5 to 7 in your third year.
Yep.
Be nice.
It's a business. Again, that's somebody else. That's somebody else is on demon time. Somebody else is on demon time, Jeff. You better make some mistake.
Oh yeah, it's time to show some action.
Oh yeah, like I said, I mean, we might as well talk about it since we're not going to really talk about it, when we get to the Big Ten. But yeah, Michigan State, Mel Tucker, you on the clock. I definitely think if you don't make shit shake this year, it's going to be that time. It's definitely going to be that time, man. So shit, man. So no good people. But before we close the door on the SEC, man, what are y'all thoughts on what to expect from Deacon Freeze this coming year? Y'all think Auburn could shock some people, man? You think?
They might go 7-5. I'm just playing. They might be all right. Just gotta look at their schedule to see who they playing. But I think they'll be all right.
They could work themselves out something. It's a like y'all like the word's been saying all throughout this whole podcast. What have you done for me lately? What have you done for me last year? What can you do for me now? So let's see what happens.
Speaking of Hugh Freeze, he was a part of that Blindside shit back in the day.
Yeah, that's a penny.
I brought that up. There. Yep, I did. That's a whole other conversation. But I think Hugh has the kind of offense that can thrive again in the SEC because he showed us that. He showed us that before, even though he was doing it the wrong way. I put him in that same category as Gus Malzahn as well, to where they are excellent offensive play callers. But it's all about winning those big games that people don't really expect you to win.
in the game.
Because people
But-
will call you an underdog.
That's the thing about it, dude. Though he. That's the funny thing about Hugh is he can win. He won those games. I think he was the only coach to beat Nick Saban twice. You know,
Twice.
within like a 3-year period. So yeah,
with,
he can.
with
But at the same
two
time,
quarterbacks back to back, because he had Bo Wallace and then he had Chad Kelly.
yep. Oh, Swag Kelly. Oh man, that's
Swag
another name
Kelly.
from another name for way back there, man. But yeah, like I said again, Hugh Freeze knows what the hell he's doing in terms of this football shit. That's one thing. Again, he got caught at Ole Miss, but like you said, he's an excellent, offensive play caller. He can recruit. Again, this guy knows what he's doing. And even last year, after Brian Harsin got fired, at the beginning of the season, and they were basically running off of the rally around the flagpole for Cadillac Williams. They were in games in which they probably should have won. I mean, even against, I think Harsin was still coaching at the time though, but they had LSU dead to rights when they played them. Again, and they played a couple of other teams tough. I think they had a tough loss against Mississippi State. They played Arkansas tough. Like I said, they won some games last year, at least towards the end of the season, that they probably shouldn't. And they were in games that they probably shouldn't have been in. But if you can just switch those games around, because again, I think Hugh Freeze, or at least for Auburn, is a much better fit for what they want than what Harsin was. So if you can just flip those games around, then I definitely think they could probably make some noise. They got a big one at Texas A&M, but still, like you said again, Jimbo Fisher and Bobby Petrino. That's going to, again, I'm going to be watching popcorn every time. When I catch a Texas A&M game, I'm going to have my popcorn ready.
Okay.
Just see both of them argue about play calls and getting, delay of game penalties just for both of them talking shit about the play calling and that's going to be worth the price of admission, man. Like I said, again, it's either going to work out great or it's going to be a hot fucking mess. It's not going to be in the in-between next year for A&M, but I definitely think, Auburn could probably make some motion, man. I mean, Ole Miss comes to the Jordan-Hare Stadium, and they host Alabama, so
I think one of the worst mistakes that Auburn made was firing Gus Malzahn. I think so. I mean, because
I hope Chris is listening to this.
Huh?
I said, I hope Chris is listening to this. I need to hear this.
Because honestly, the brand of football that Gus brought to Auburn was something to this day. I think he's probably the top 5 play callers within college football.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest, all right. So this is my top 5: Gus Malzahn, Lincoln Riley. I can't believe I'm saying Lane Kiffin.
Hold on, Gus Malzahn
He's at Central Florida now.
Yeah. He's at UCF, man. We're going to actually talk some about the Big 12, but
I guess I could still say Brian Kelly, and my 5th one. Shit, that's kind of hard to say. I guess it's Sark if he could do so with Texas.
Yeah, that's definitely a big if. Like I said, I'm definitely get one to you, man. I'll definitely bring up another great play caller later. So I definitely think should be in consideration.
I'm supposed to forget about Ryan Day and Jim Harbaugh. Because I
got some interesting things about both of them because before we do, hold that thought, Jeff. Hold that thought.
Okay, I will.
Tell me right quick, man. So who are your picks to go to the SEC championship game?
Georgia.
Of course, I already know one, man, but who do you think is coming out of the West?
And Alabama. Georgia and Alabama, or Georgia and LSU, but I'm gonna lean towards Alabama. Because Nick, you just can't count him out until he's counted out.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
I think even though the offense is suspect, he's still got the defense.
Yeah, and like we said, man,
defense is going to be on all cylinders.
Yeah, like I said, LSU comes to Tuscaloosa this year. So again, that's definitely going to be one of the biggest conference games of biggest conference games of the season. So yeah, I would definitely. Again, like you said, man, it's a wild stat, but it said the three of the 6 top recruiting classes, 3 of the top recruiting classes of the last 6 years are still playing on Tuscaloosa's campus. So talent ain't the issue.
Mm-hmm.
But again, of course, talent in the most places that we expect from Nick Saban team in the issue. But like I said, the quarterback should be interesting.
And then let's bring it. Then let's also bring it another point along as well as far as what we talked about earlier. These days, it's not even just about the talent anymore for these teams. It's about who got the biggest piggy bank, who's going to shove out the biggest coins. You got some kids that are motivated to win national championships. Now that NIL is on kind of the main thing, you're going to have kids that are going to be motivated to see who's going to get them the most money.
I mean, I said the same thing a couple of weeks ago, man. I mean, let's just be real, man. These kids are getting paid before NIL, man. NIL just means it's legal now. It's legal. And again, I mean, that's one of the things though about coaching or whatever though, man. Like I said, that you're going to try to at least find that balance between again, if a kid just wants a bag, then again, more often than not, you don't want that kid on your team because again, like I said, that he's of course going to be motivated, by that. And if the season goes sideways, what motivator is there for him, to keep playing for the team? If you just bring somebody in who's just who brought in the biggest, who wrote who stroked the biggest check. And like you said, man, like I said, you're gonna have to. Again, that's just part of the coaching game. You're gonna have to just find the ones, who are talented enough to help you make it to championship though, but who's not going to make it, their main thing. Like I said, it's a sweet spot, and again, it's going to be a sweet spot that's going to be hard to manage though. But again, as in terms of the teams that we have right now, since the transfer portal isn't open. Like I said, man, since this is who we're rolling, again, you better hope that who you have now, is riding with you, for the right reasons, instead of just having that big check stroke and whatnot, man.
And so my other question to ask you on top of that, though, Reggie, is like, with this whole NIL thing going on now, how can we make the game at least similar to what it used to be versus right now? Let's be honest, it's the Wild West. Like, even after Georgia won the national championship last year, these kids transferred out. Like, Bear Alexander, he went to USC. Last year, it was that Burton kid that went to Alabama. You got kids transferring out in search of a bigger bag. And then this is where when we talk about college sports and how y'all mentioned that maybe it needs to be separated from academics. Honestly, academics are out of the door. They're already out of the door whenever it comes.
They've been out of the door. And with Bear Alexander's case, it looks like, again, him leaving might not have. Again, it seemed like it was a mutual decision. It was best for all parties. Again, that's where Kirby has been having top recruiting classes still good. You could lose a Bear Alexander, but still won't miss a beat because you got another 5-star in the wings. And in case somebody else, just decides to up a lead for another reason. That's what happens, man. Just like in recruiting. You're gonna lose. Like I said, you win some, you lose some. Even with the national championship brand or whatever, though, man. Some people might not go to you. Maybe Bear didn't see a role to play into. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not totally knowledgeable on that situation. You probably know a whole lot better than I do since you follow Georgia more closely. But again, to me, it seemed like it was a decision that all parties turned out. It was best for all parties to just cut bait and just move on. Sometimes you do have to do that. Bear, like I said again, talented kid, and he's at USC now.
Yeah,
he's at USC.
He did what Jordan Addison did last year. He chased the bag. He went for he went for Hollywood. Apparently,
Yeah.
Hollywood's paying pretty damn good out there.
I mean, hey, I said he was the first round pick, so it worked out for him. And again, it's Pitt too. It's not like Pitt's known to just chunk the ball all over the place though. So
And then
I
also
can
part of what it
understand
was that his offensive coordinator or his wide receivers coach left, and that was his excuse. But that's kind of now to where like the players of this day and age are a lot different than the ones that we grew up with. To where committing to a program and really being a vital part of the program throughout your time there is what people really use as foundation. I mean, granted, there was always money coming out, but it's like now it truly has become free agency, and I feel like maybe they need to reconsider how they have the transfer portal. To where if you're going to commit to a school, you got to stay with that school for at least a year or two. I'd say for at least 2 years to have some continuance. I think also when it comes to the NIL stuff, I mean, sure, give these kids money, but also have it to where they have a cap while they're playing in school. And if there are kids that don't have as much money and they don't have scholarships, let some of these scholarships go down to these kids that need it. If you're making $500,000 off of your university now, let those scholarships trickle down. I have heard some stories about some athletes doing that. So that's kind of positive.
I guess I definitely the NIL definitely needs to be reined in. So a lot of it, and in terms of of course the transfer portal, you get the one time transfer rule, and actually something happened with the 2 times. Yeah, you can't transfer 2 times out. Said 2 times out, without having to be without having to sit out a year. And something actually happened this past week, or at least 2 weeks now, that happened that actually had me like that actually showed the. Like I said, I wanted to touch on it earlier when we were talking about the conference realignment, but long story short though, like I said, the NIL, I think eventually, even though it might not be up to the NCAA to actually enforce it, because the way they're going, that organization might not be here in the next 5 years, and I think that we're actually going to be better off when it does. But I think that, of course, that the money, or at least how do you regulate something that the schools don't have a hand in? A lot of these NIL deals are being handled by outside third parties and collectives. That's one of the reasons why Florida, and of course, Florida was easy to bag on because of the Jada Rashada thing. But of course, you can argue about how much they knew about the NIL deal, man. But the NIL is being handled by third parties. They actually, like I said, they handle, by Bagman and other people who would just come together and just be like, yo, we'll give you X amount of money if you do this commercial for our, car dealership or whatever. Again, in the new age of college football, how do you regulate that is definitely going to be interesting. And in terms of these kids transferring, it's like, sure, if you want to put like a bigger handle on that, you also need to get a handle on these coaches who jump towards the biggest opportunities the first time they get to. So that's my always say, man. Like, good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah, true. And then it's also kind of wild. Like most starting quarterbacks have these perennial programs now. Once they get a position, I mean, hell, they get Mercedes-Benz. Like the new quarterback for Ohio State, McCord. He got a BMW, a brand new 2023 BMW, because he's a starter quarterback. So now it's kind of like they don't want to say that it's pay for play, but it is pay for play. It really is, to where, because I have been to an Ohio State game before, and it's like I went there to go see the traditions, and it was just so cool to see some of the traditions and stuff. I mean, honestly, these kids these days really don't give a damn. It's all about likes and influence, TikTok or whatever. You know, it's like hopefully the whole game will kind of find some kind of a pendulum that's going to kind of make like an equilibrium. But I don't know. Like as I said when this podcast first began today, I really don't like the way things are going right now. Even like with the 12-team playoff, I mean, I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to work. But at the same time, I really don't like the fact that it's going to kind of dilute each and every game counting.
I honestly don't agree with that. I'm gonna tell you why. It didn't dilute the FCS. You know, when our school Georgia Southern was absolute knocking heads.
I give you that.
We still had to win. We still had to go out win the SoCon. And again, it's not like these big. It's not like you having these little schools so-called sneaking in. And I think from a practical reason, man, like I said, I think we definitely this is definitely almost too much of a tangent. But again, before P2, if you want to tell me you're trying to engage the entire country instead of making college football so regionalized, you're actually getting people from the West Coast and from Big Ten country interested in the games. And if it's a way to make sure every team's represented somehow in 12-team playoff was the absolute best way to do it, then I'm all for it. Because still, I'm still of the belief too that hey, you still got to play the game. It doesn't matter if you. It doesn't matter who you are, because again, it's a time of year when injuries can absolutely hinder. And again, I'm not saying that they would have made it, but imagine Tulane USC being a playoff game and actually seeing something that big of an upset happen. Again, it could be March Madness on a smaller scale. I'm not saying that a Tulane will win the national championship, but again, hell, I'll watch it for like the first 2 rounds just to see how far they can get, man. That's just me.
That's a good way of looking at it. It does. I mean, technically, with this new format, Georgia Southern's in play now. Georgia Southern's in play to get one of those spots.
Yeah, a strong G5, absolutely.
Yep. So I guess that's good. Okay, so we really covered SEC. Are we going to discuss?
I was about to say, man. I was about to say, what conference you want to jump to now, man?
Whew, how you feel about ACC?
Hey, man. You see the shirt, man. Like I said, I think that this is, again, if there's one program that's absolutely, has absolutely mined the transfer portal, to its very best, I think it's been my nose, man. I think they wouldn't have turned it around if they haven't, dominated the portal the way they have, man. And
but
I think a lot of
how you feel about Mike Norvell?
Hey, like I said, I feel, again, I told you I was gonna get some of the top play callers. I think he's up there. I think he's up there too. I think he's up there, just with the Lincoln Rileys, the Lanes and all. Because even when he didn't have the team, before 2022, he was still scheming some shit open. He just didn't have the players to actually, take advantage. I mean, hey, like I said, man, he's worked his ass off to get the program exactly where it needed to be. I told you about getting the right type of players, trying to find that balance between the folks who want to come into the bag. Because that's the thing about transfers, of course. Even for those who aren't chasing the bag, so to speak, they still have to be integrated to the team. You still need to actually, you take that many transfers because you could easily create a mercenary culture, so to speak. So I get why Kirby was talking about, last year when he said, we only had 2 transfers on the team. Because like you said, if everything's equal, you want to recruit kids, from, as young as they are. You want to recruit them, you want to build them and develop them, for the 3 or 4 years that you have them. But like you talk about with the transfer portal, you might be developing a kid for somebody else down the line.
That's the reason why I think there needs to be better constraints on the transfer portal.
Yeah.
Ronaldo, we just jumped over to the ACC now. What's your take on the ACC, my brother?
How y'all feel about Clemson?
You mean like with Club Freenet?
But that's
I think
crazy.
Clemson's again Clemson, but I think that I think this should be this will be the year that again if this needs to be the year that like I said we definitely need to make something shake against Clemson. Now,
Yeah.
the game is going to be at Clemson, and that's the thing about it though, man. I mean, Florida State's schedule, like I said, I don't know if we're going to talk about it, back and forth though, but Florida State's season is pretty much September. Well, their first game, they play LSU in Orlando, a game that I'm going to be at.
Okay.
Oh yeah, your boy's going to be your boy's going to be down there in Orlando for that game, man. Like I said I definitely can't wait for that one, man. So yeah, they play LSU, and then at the end of September they play at Clemson.
Can y'all believe that college football starts back next Saturday?
Yep, week 0.
Week 0, man. And there are
August
a couple
26th.
of games on the schedule. I mean, there are a couple of games worth checking out. Then they are not just rolling out your little, directional universities. I mean, I think they got Navy and Notre Dame in there somewhere, or somebody like that. But they got some.
Yeah, I think they're playing in Ireland. Yeah, maybe it's somebody.
They got some games to look at. So that'll be fun to where we.
Right.
Huh?
The Notre Dame game is in Ireland, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
That's kind of a thing now. This is like every other year it seems.
Aer Lingus Stadium. And in fact, FSU is actually playing Georgia Tech in Ireland next year.
That's fun.
So yeah, like I said, the Ireland game, has definitely become something. But yeah, like you said, and in fact, I think since this year in the ACC, it's not going to be since there's no Coastal and there's no Atlantic division. So the two best teams play each other, and I think Florida State and Clemson are going to play each other twice this year.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think round 1 is going to be, in Clemson. Like I said, that's the regular season game in Clemson. But if Florida State can start like undefeated and stuff, if they can go 4-0 in September, man, like I said, the rest of the schedule is looking, real. The rest of the schedule is looking real good. I think there's
Is Florida State a quarterback is back, or is that a new?
Oh yeah, that's the thing about it. Yeah, I probably should have said that at the beginning though.
Jordan Travis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Jordan Travis is back, and like I said, he actually has, and he's also one of the top 5 odds of becoming a Heisman, candidate. And not only is Jordan Travis back, like I said, they also bring back 87% of their production from last year. That's more than any other team in the country. On top of some of the other, they also got some other big transfers. They got Keon Coleman from out of the portal, Michigan State's top receiver. I'm going to be interested to see exactly how he's going to do. Again, they return a 6'7", 240-pound receiver that can run a 4.5. So Johnny Wilson's definitely a beast. Return their running back. Return mostly off offensive line. Return their first round defensive end in Jared Verse. Again, this it's going to sound homerish though, man. But again, if things work out the way that I think they can, especially with the schedule, I think they're a playoff contender. It should be a playoff contender this year, man. Like I said, if they could definitely roll. Now, like I said, because they're playing in the ACC, the margin of victory, or at least the margin of error, is smaller since they're playing in the ACC. But if they can come out of September at least 3-1 and take care of the rest of their schedule the way I think they're going to, take care of it. Like I said, at Pitt playing in Pittsburgh in November is probably, it should be something. But again, I think that, their schedule, or at least I think they're still better than what Pitt should roll out. And Pitt, they're known for good D-line play, but Kalijah Clancy, he's playing in the NFL. If he would have came back, he probably would have, because Kalijah Clancy was a problem. But since he's gone, I'm not quite as worried about the Pitt game as some might say. And of course, Miami and Florida got players, man, but both are in the mud, like we talked about. So I think Florida State has a chance to, or at least I say at least they can at least beat 10 games. I'll say this: if they're not in Charlotte by December, I think something is going seriously wrong.
So what about Miami? I mean, they got on what's his name at quarterback?
Dyke.
Number nine.
Tyler Van Dyke.
Yeah, Van Dyke.
The guy who Alabama originally wanted, but they had to settle for the boy from Notre Dame instead.
And you know what? I got to put Matt or the coach Cristobal in that same category as the coaches that will always be on the brink, but they always kind of choke somewhere along the way.
Something left on because he's coming from Oregon, right?
He came from Oregon. That's right.
I really thought he was going to like do a lot. He kind of did, kind of sort of, but like not really. But
yeah,
this is a ball game.
I did like I was saying earlier. I did like when we was at Taco Mac. We saw the bowl game with Florida State. I saw some potential. I saw some folks doing a little something like this, and that's why I like asking like, okay, what they gonna do this year? See how that works. And that's why I was asking about the quarterback because he was pretty good. And so it looked like it's gonna be something, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be something special, and them and Clemson gonna be balling it out at each other. Feel like it's gonna be a special little thing right there.
Yeah, I think Clemson's definitely gonna continue to ball out because they kind of missed the mark with DJ Ukulele, whatever you call him.
Yeah, DJ Ukulele, yeah.
They missed the mark with him.
Really
now,
did. But I mean, he had to come out. He came out to Trevor Lawrence though, so it was like
he did, but they really overhyped him though.
They
because
did.
like you remember when the NIL first started, they started throwing all this money at him, and he's on Dr. Pepper commercials.
Dr. Pepper commercials, yep.
And he didn't do shit.
Yeah. See, that's gonna be a negative of those NILs. Like you're gonna hype the hell out these players, and then they won't be amounting to do shit. And you giving them all that money, so you know that be mindful before you give this money out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Giving the money out because of the hype. Don't give the money out for the hype. Give the money out for the play. So like don't be going off of word of mouth and like, oh, this guy looks like he's gonna be the shit. Oh snap, let it go, and then that shit builds up, and you putting a lot of heavy burden on that brother, like or whoever playing, like it's like okay, that it can go both ways. Like the NL can be the death of somebody too.
Mm-hmm. Because sometimes the thing about it too, is that people are motivated by different things. When you're putting money into the pot for these kids at such a young age, sometimes their motivation can probably just kind of creep off a little bit.
Bro, you got situations where they had nothing, and the only way they're going to get, getting to where they need to be at. So yeah, the mentality is going to be different varies from people to people. It really does. Yeah. That's why I'm really hoping the guardrails up. Like NIL right now, of course, is the wild, wild west at the moment. But I'm hoping guardrails are going to be created and kind of putting together into place, kind of like what eventually is going to end up being like a cap or something in the NFL salary cap or something, to where they break it down to these players that play and whatnot. But I was listening to you guys when y'all was going on First Take and talking about the NIL, so it was kind of cool to see that the differences of opinions y'all had. It's interesting. I'm in the middle. Like I wanted to be where they could still focus on school, but I also want them to get their money too. You know what I'm saying? It's like these guys been playing so much. They put their body to tests. Like they could end their careers coming out of college and not even go to the NFL. Rather they have money now than.
Otto, I think about your boy that played for the 49ers for like a year or two, Marcus Lattimore out of South Carolina.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Case in point, right? Like he had so much potential, but his knees were so damn bad. You know what I'm saying? Like especially these running backs. Like I'm hoping these running backs kind of take some kind of something out of this and kind of get some kind of cash, because the way running backs are being used now in the NFL, y'all ain't shit. So it's like it's kind of got to be how you got to play yourself out. But imagine the ACC though. I really feel like Florida State and Clemson are really gonna be battling out with each other. I can't wait to see that. To go at each other.
Do you have any dark horses out of the ACC?
What's that?
I don't really.
Do you have any dark horses like maybe like Duke or actually?
I was about to say Duke. You know what, Duke? You know what?
Drake May.
Of course, Drake May. But you know what? I would have agreed with you, Jeff, if Tez Walker was eligible. I could see that. But Drake May is probably going to have to carry this team more than even he did last year. And even with last year, it still only carried them, so much though. But you know what? I like Duke. I think more than some people though. Again, I put a premium on returning quarterbacks. Riley Leonard is a pretty good one.
Yeah,
Riley Leonard for Duke, is definitely pretty good, and they actually got some players who actually, said they have one of the top guard prospects, for the NFL, and they also have a pretty good D tackle as well. Of course, you need more than that, to be consistent runner. And like I said, some people, but yeah, Duke did beat up on a pretty bad schedule last year though. But still, again, you play who you play, and 9 wins is still 9 wins.
Play who you play.
You play who you play. So it is what it is.
I think the biggest fumble in the ACC, because wasn't Georgia Tech supposed to get Willie Fritz?
Yeah, that's what I heard too.
Yeah. They want to, but again,
that was the biggest fumble. If
money
Fritz would have went, if he would have went there.
But yeah, absolutely. That's pretty much what it comes down to, man. Like I said, they don't want to, again. That's the error. Like I said, Georgia Tech could be doing more if they actually have more people who can actually, who actually cared about that program and actually put into it, what they want to see out of it.
Because they have some good players. I mean, case in point, Jahmyr Gibbs was a hell of a running back. And then he took a year in Alabama to get himself acclimated, and he became a top 12 pick.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be this year.
So they have some players coming around, and they actually have some pretty good recruiting wins, so far the 2024 cycle. I'll give Brent Key this, man. Like I said, it seems like Brent Key wants to, at least on the field, establish a personality, with them. Now, whether or not, again, that's going to lead to, immediate gains. I think they probably need to mind the transfer portal more, to get where they need to be, though. But again, Georgia Tech, they upset North Carolina. Like I said, they were beating teams, so that I want to say didn't they beat Pitt as well? I want to say, yeah. Like I said, they won some good games under Brent Key, but again, long term, we have to see exactly, how it's all going to work out for them, man. But again, for right now,
Brent Key coach at Southern.
What's that?
I said, didn't Brent Key coach at Georgia Southern at one time?
You thinking of Brent Pry? You thinking of Brent Pry for Virginia Tech?
Yeah, that's what it was.
You thinking of Brent Pry?
Okay.
Yeah. And unfortunately for our former Georgia Southern coach, I don't think Virginia Tech's going to do shit this year, man. Like I said,
you think who?
They've been in the mud. It seems like Justin Fuente did a number on that program. I don't think that we all saw coming.
Wait, who did you say?
So Justin.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Virginia
Brent
Tech.
Pry, yeah.
Yeah, but okay, Virginia Tech. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think we need to, pretty much speak more. But yeah, I definitely think, I said Drake, North Carolina. I said this. Can they play defense? That's pretty much what it comes to. That down in North Carolina. Not just can they play defense, because somebody else other than Drake May actually help the team get to where they need to be. Because again, we know Drake May can ball. We know what Drake May could do. I don't know if anybody else could do anything.
Who else can you have?
What's that, Ronaldo?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Oh, no, I was asking who else do Drake May have? Like, does he have anybody else returning? I'm thinking.
Now, you know what? With Matt Brown still as the head coach there, you never know. He can probably bring some talent out of the woodworks.
Okay. I'm with that. Let me see how that, again, for me though, I mean, I can see Drake May doing a lot because he's going to have the hype put on him because, you know, him and Caleb Williams getting ready to fight for whoever's losing this year in the NFL. So it's
Right.
you know, it's gonna be interesting to see them two go at it because it's gonna be the next. They're gonna be the next two people coming up.
Yeah.
How do you feel about UNC, Brandon?
It's so much Drake May can do.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest.
Like I said, B. I said again, if Tez Walker was eligible, that was going to be a fun connection. If I don't know who it was, Tez Walker was a receiver transfer from Kent State who transferred twice, but he got it denied by the NCAA because the NCAA is a terrible organization that doesn't have a spine or a brain between any of the brain trust, you know, leadership that's there in the building.
Right.
So if Tez Walker goes, Tez Walker was not. In fact, I don't know if Jeff remembered though, but when y'all played Kent State, Tez was the guy on that team that was the one that was giving Georgia fits.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He was supposed to play for UNC this year, but again, NCAA denied his transfer waiver to be close to his family and close to his sick grandmother. So
NCAA bum ass.
NCAA worst motherfuckers on the planet, man. But yeah,
they should be like getting some kind of RICO or something charge.
Come on.
But I'm gonna say this with North Carolina. I feel like Mac Brown. I'm like, a couple more years, he ain't gonna be at UNC anymore. I don't know.
Like 80?
He's
might be.
Old. But,
he might be, man. But I think Mac Brown's got him to where I think he's got to go because again, he's recruited well there. Obviously, his biggest win was flipping Drake May from Alabama. So he's recruited well. He's got some players, but again, it seems like the same thing that's plaguing this North Carolina team was plaguing those Mac Brown teams in Texas. Are they tough enough?
Yeah.
Are they tough enough? Do they really have the fortitude to actually, stand up and actually do, what you need to do? That's always been the thing about Mac Brown coach teams.
That's right.
Yeah, man. But other than that, though, man. But outside of them, again, Miami and Cristobal's talented. I mean, he'll get you talent, but they can't. He ain't coach you to those victories. He ain't coach you to because again, he fired his OC last year, and his DC left to go coach for Nick Saban. Yeah, he got coach for Nick Saban. So now. Again, he has two new coordinators. I heard that new D coordinator is supposed to actually be pretty fire, but the O coordinator looks like it's going to be rough sledding again. So Miami might be fighting for bowl eligibility again. I think they'll get it, but I'm still not too sold on Miami. Like I said that he might again, and not only that, the NIL money is drowning out with them either since John Ruiz is having the Security and Exchanges Commission investigating his company. So Miami looking real crazy right now.
But man, they should have always my thought process, they should have still went with Uncle Luke and have like let there be relevance in Miami again, man. Just get Uncle Luke on the squad, do something. Man.
If only Nevin Shapiro wasn't in prison. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. There you go. They should have fired Manny Diaz because at least Manny Diaz made some. He at least made some good coordinator hires. But of course, when recruiting, is the main thing, And again, Mario, a former Canes player, former national champion. I said, you try to find that old thing again. Sometimes that old thing just don't come up.
Yeah.
Sometimes just don't find that old thing again, man. But I see just put a bow on the ACC, conversation. I definitely see that as a 2-team race.
Yep.
I said I definitely have FSU and Clemson playing twice this year to definitely determine the crown. I think I'll give y'all one more. Dark horse that nobody's probably talking about, or at least based on schedule. don't be surprised if Louisville is actually still in terms of it's still going to be in the ACC hunt late into late into October, early November. I like Jeff Brom as head coach. He did.
Okay.
He took Purdue as far as he can. I think he's another good offensive coach. Of course, he's going back home. He's former Louisville quarterback.
Okay.
They actually produced. They actually got some good teams, and I think he's a upgrade over David Satterfield.
Okay. That's an interesting.
Scott Satterfield, whatever his name is. I can't stand the motherfucker. He used to coach at App State, so fuck him.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, we don't acknowledge him.
Who is that guy?
Whose man's is this?
That's
Like,
Sean King.
Jay-Z said, "Who are you?"
So we ready to go to the next conference, guys?
Oh yeah.
All right, man. Shit, man. You know what, man? Since you talked about earlier, man, we might as well just go shoot. Hold on, man. Shoot. We'll go to the Big Ten, man. I don't know why I said I'm tripping right now, but we'll go to the Big Ten, man. We'll go to the Midwest right now, or at least what's left of the Midwest, because next year we already know what's about to happen, man.
Crazy. Great.
But anyway, y'all. Again, we're not burying the lead. Just going to get into it.
Yep.
And hopefully our Michigan listener is still listening right now, though. But is this going to be more than a two-team race between Michigan and Ohio State, y'all?
Probably so. Maybe Penn. No, I don't think Penn State.
Penn State's a dark horse. Listen, Penn State's ranked number 7 right now on the AP. A lot of folks think that this may be James Franklin's best team in Happy Valley right now.
He's gonna choke.
Got a little squad.
Well,
He always choke.
Here's my thing about Penn State. I think across the board, I think Penn State I think they're going to have the talent to challenge Michigan, Ohio State. But I think Penn State, they have a high floor, but their ceiling is going to be determined by Drew Aller, their new quarterback. Because we talked about the SEC having new quarterbacks. Same thing's happening in the Big Ten, especially with Penn State and Ohio State. But Penn State, that Drew Aller, former number 1 overall quarterback. I'm gonna say that if he is who we think he is, then they can definitely make some noise. They can definitely make some. I definitely wouldn't count them out. In fact, man, I want to say the win, or at least when did they play? When did they play? Because that's the thing about it. Penn State plays in the same division as both Ohio State and Michigan.
Penn State has some really good linebackers and safeties.
They have some good front 7 people. I think they have a potential first day pick at DN. They have a great offensive tackle. I think one of their tackles could have went first round last year, but he decided to come back again. NIL might have something to do with that one. So yeah,
more years to it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I can being that little dark horse too. But of course, what your question was, it's clearly Michigan and Ohio State. Like, what I'm saying? This is Harbaugh again getting ready to act the fool with chance. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All out, go in. You know what I'm saying? So,
And Harbaugh also had a returning quarterback. Jake McCarthy.
Barry Whisper.
Oh, what'd you say, Jeff?
Harbaugh also had the returning quarterback, Jake McCarthy.
Yep, sure does. But you know what? I want to see if McCarthy can actually do more than just throw off a play action to Blake Corum, though. That's my main question with Michigan. Can McCarthy actually make plays with plays within the pocket when it comes down to it?
No.
Well, Ronaldo with the answers.
He said no.
Concise.
Harbaugh's gonna stick with what he does the best. Hone in on those skills that he loves. We did for him last year, and hug him, pump him in the chest, and get him playing and running through a wall. That's pretty much it. It's gonna be the same thing he did last year.
Oh yeah. As fumbling. I mean, because
What are your thoughts, Jeff?
Huh?
I said, what are your thoughts, Jeff?
Well, I mean, Harbaugh is definitely in this same stable of older coaches that will get you to big games,
Yeah.
and they will choke.
Yeah,
They will just choke.
he'll do that. He'll get you, and then he won't give a fuck after the game. He'll be like,
No, how the hell we both drinking liqueur?
I would toast you, brother.
Hey man, toast shit.
Hey man, LaCour ain't no help, yo.
Hey man, that shit is good. Don't y'all judge nobody.
Man, like I said, I don't have more like one LaCroix. Ever, man, but
Hey,
all right, man.
Y'all bougie asses.
hey man, don't you be knocking mineral water, sparkling water?
Yeah.
It's pretty
But
good.
I feel with Ohio State. Where we going with them?
I think Ohio State, they probably, not probably, but I think Ohio State might have the best receiving core in the nation.
They still do.
Oh yeah.
Marvin Harrison. Whatever, Jeff.
Because they got Marvin Harrison Jr.
Marvin Harrison Jr. Not just him. Not him. Emeka Egbuka is also somebody who's probably going to be a first rounder. And also, don't sleep on the Julian Fleming kid, another former 5-star wide receiver on the team. Who's probably, again, he might be a one on some other teams, but if he's your third option, your wide receiver core is cooking. And again, like Penn State, I think I like everything else about Ohio State, but again, Kyle McCord, if he's going to be the quarterback, and it looks like he is going to be the starter, they're going to go as far as he takes them. Again, he's a guy who's formerly a talented quarterback.
Yeah.
So again, we'll see. Going former teammate of Marvin Harrison Jr. too at St. Joe's Prep in Philly. So we'll see. Again, we'll see how far he can take them.
I think also the system will carry him too, because Ryan Day has a system in place to where it will carry them.
Yeah,
they will. They will win at least 12 games, 11, 12 games, whatever. That's not the issue. Mm-hmm. It's going to come down to that Michigan Ohio State game, and just like last year.
Yep.
Are they going to be able to get to the playoffs again?
And that's the thing, though. They play at Michigan. Yeah, they play at the Big House this year. So, yeah, that's might be the season, though. But here's what I was hitting at earlier when you brought up Ryan Day. And like I said, I got family ties in Ohio. So, like I said, I watched, my fair share of Ohio State games growing up.
It's a beautiful place,
and I actually have – what's up?
I've been to the Horseshoe before. It's definitely a beautiful place. I went, 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah, I remember that, man. I remember you just shared pictures of that, man. Yeah, that's one thing I definitely need to do, man, is definitely, make that a, trip one day as well.
It's worth it. It's worth it, man.
Oh, yeah, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. But I think, again, like I said, I think I have a post on Ohio State, Ohio State base, pretty well, too, at this. So I want to ask y'all this. As impartial observers, do y'all think it's fair that there has been some talk about Ryan Day being on the hot seat there?
Not even close. Because the thing about Ryan is that he's kind of in that same circle of just these coaches, kind of like Lincoln Riley. Really, Ryan Day and Lincoln Riley are like the same people.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to always,
They're kind of the damn same, two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
But I think, but here's the thing though, but we always say, that get to the big game and choke, But again, that's it shows that it's hard winning national championships out here.
It ain't easy.
It's just hard. Like I said, that's one thing. I was actually watching. I was watching a Bobby Bowden documentary on the ACC network. I said a couple of weeks ago, and it just reminded you, again. Like I said the championships that they didn't win, and the circumstances around them. Remember, 1998 when they played Tennessee, Chris Lincoln was hurt, and he only played. I'm like, T. Martin had game of his life, and damn Peter Warwick. If he actually would have broke a punt return and not had been tackled by the punter, game might have turned out different. But again, like I said, no Chris Minke for that game. When they play Oklahoma in the national championship, Mark Richt leaves to go, coach, to become the head football coach at the University of Georgia. And even with all that, man, like I said, what they did in the 90s, again, 13 straight seasons of top 4 finishes. And again, it's the consistency, even that type of consistency in the sport in which you're competing with 64 other teams, for the right to hold up a championship. It's hard. You got to get breaks. I mean, again, let's just be real, Jeff. I'm gonna bring it up, but it seems like Ohio State still bringing this up, though. But I mean, it is what it is, though. But again, if Marvin Harrison doesn't get hurt in that Georgia game, we might be talking about a different conversation right now in terms of Georgia being back to back or not. I'm not taking anything away from Georgia because again, it's the breaks. It is the breaks. I hate that we couldn't see Marvin Harrison throughout the entire game. I mean, injuries do happen, but Marvin was feasting before he taken out.
I guess you can say about both championships because the first one, that's when
Jameson Williams
Jameson got hurt.
Yeah.
And then Harrison got hurt. But at the same time, as I said before, you got to still play the game.
Yeah.
You do. You're right. You're absolutely right.
All the good stuff.
You're absolutely right. But I asked that, man, because again, I mean, I understand, like I said, rivalries, I mean, still matter to some people. I get though, but you can't get rid of somebody again who consistently wins 10 games, and all because he's lost the last 2 seasons against Michigan. Now, again, a guy who took y'all to the playoffs, y'all talking about this man being on the hot seat.
Yeah,
like you said, it's kind of
he kept the ball. When Urban Meyer left, like he didn't. None of it fell down. Like it stayed the same, if not got better. Like
they had a good contingency plan.
Yeah,
that's where when I talked about Oklahoma, they don't.
Nah, that's the point. Like if Ryan Day leave, who does Ohio State have to replace him? Like what are they going to do?
Yeah,
because that offense is their culture. Just like how with Oklahoma, since we were in like grade school, Oklahoma was always known for the run and shoot.
Mm-hmm.
So was Texas. That was within the DNA of their program.
Yeah, they were doing run and shoot. Like I said, all of this, before everybody else started catching on.
Yep.
Yeah. Mike Leach at Texas Tech.
Oh yeah, the air raid offense. That's kind of what we run at Georgia Southern now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I love, by the way, which is what I love. Finally.
Yes. Hot damn time.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, it's really wild that we actually recruiting, wide receivers. We actually have more wide receivers in our current. Talk about Georgia Southern's current recruiting class. And running backs.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's still wild to see.
Last year we got that one kid that was like a 4-star that was at running back.
And he was.
I know who you're talking about. I can't think of his name though.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
I think he's coming. Is he coming back? I think he's coming back.
I think he is coming back. Yeah.
I can think of his bro.
You talking about? I think Terrence Edwards. Not Terrence Edwards.
Nah, I think he came out of Florida though.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was Florida because I remember he was originally supposed to be a Florida's class, but he didn't go. I think he made a great choice.
Oh yeah.
Great choice, and not choosing the Gators though. But yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. I know exactly who you're talking about, man. Because like I said, again, Florida State, kicked the tires on them too, man. But a lot of people thought he was going to go to Florida, but hey, he ended up in beautiful Eagle Creek. So hey,
man, I'm trying my best to make it to a game or two down there this year.
Look, they got the new practice facility.
I saw that.
I was there when I went to see my sister graduate. Like, they had it built up. That shit's nice. Like they playing they ain't playing in the heat. They got a nice little practice facility thing. They're doing good. It's basically the whole parking lot that folks part at Paulson Stadium. That's all built up as a practice field now. But it's nice.
Okay.
It's nice.
I was able to make a quick trip down there when I came home a couple of weeks ago. It was such a quick trip where I came down there and turned right back around because I had, I just came to grab me some GSU, get it bring back over here to the West Coast, and I had to go by and get some of that Southern Crab Shack.
Good, man, as you should. It's
And
gonna
then
be some
I drove by the campus, and it's something definitely on the up and up, man. And I'm so proud of our school for just continuing to grow and thrive. And who knows, man? Maybe in a couple years we'll move up to a bigger division.
Yeah, I just like seeing actual like as much as I had loved that whole option that we was doing. I wanted more football. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted more passes. I wanted more deep down the field. I wanted more option, like play option, play action type stuff. Like I wanted more like what we doing now with Clay Hilton. So like, all right, cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving the way we look at football now more. And not just more.
We first tried it with the Hatch Attack.
Yeah, Chris Hatcher.
I mean, it was cool. You know what I'm saying?
Bubble screens everywhere with Jason Foster. I mean, hey, we tried it.
I mean, it was cool. It was cool for what it was.
Yeah, like I said. And then who was that? The Chappelle dude who we tried to run out there at quarterback, and yeah, it just I think that's one of the things that I personally one of the things I hated was folks always said that Georgia Southern fans just always wanted to run the option and triple option. I think it's not the fact that we're so tied to the option. We want to win games. So we don't care how the games are won. It's just the fact that again, we weren't making good coaching hires at the time. That's one of the things that was really hurting us. I mean, I don't know if I don't know what how Chris Hatcher would have done if he would actually gave him time though. But Brian Van Gorder was somebody we should was the dead in the water. Damn, Tyson Thomas, y'all remember that dude?
Yeah,
right.
Tyson, dead in the fucking water. We tried to.
He did good, but he was too much of the old thing.
Yeah.
And then he went in the Army. And he's
I was just about to say, man. That's the only thing about it, though. Jeff Monken might have been, the best coach we had, since we, even though I probably want to, I see Walker was a good job, man. He was the best coach we had, since Paul Johnson. But again, he went to a bigger program, or at least a program that paid more money than what Georgia Southern, was going to pony up. And I knew that as soon as we beat Florida, folks were going to come after him. And
damn.
Damn.
You left at the wrong time.
Damn.
Because I was going to bring up that.
I will say that Willie Fritz was my guy.
Oh, yeah, Fritz too. Absolutely.
Fritz was my guy, man.
Fritz too. But again, he left for somebody else who pointed up more cash.
Fritz was awesome.
And I think that was the only.
I think that we found the best fit with Clay Helton because he's from the area. He already got paid.
Yep.
He already tested the waters. He wanted to be closer to home.
Yeah, and he's bringing in some cool quarterbacks. He brought Overboard from Tulsa. You know what I'm saying?
Davis Blinn.
You know what I'm saying? He's bringing in some quarterbacks. Let's see what, I'm glad we can see something different this time. As much as the triple option was dope and cool as hell, I just want to see some more, just more catches down the field from the couple of the yard line and whatever. So,
that offense last year was fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Like literally,
it was good. It was good enough to beat Nebraska and Lincoln.
Yeah,
I was so part of it because out here on the West Coast, I go to the casinos and they had the Georgia Southern game up on the screen, and I kept on going to the bet tape like, "Hey man, y'all got to put that Georgia Southern game on." So I'm watching Georgia Southern play, and then I'm watching the Bulldogs and watching baseball or whatever. But it's just so good that Georgia Southern is kind of becoming more of a national brand.
Yeah. I mean, they're putting in that money. They're making it look, they put that stadium got Zaxby's, dog. That's the crazy part. That stadium has a Zaxby's spot.
It has a Zaxby's now?
Yeah, that stadium has a Zaxby's now.
I'm gonna need for College Game Day to come out of that, man.
Hey, what? Come on, man. Come on.
They need to.
Come on.
College Game Day needs to come on down here to Statesboro. ESPN, if y'all listening to this podcast, please come on to Statesboro and see the beautiful Eagle Creek.
And y'all should be. Y'all definitely should be listening right now, man. Like I said, if you're not watching us on YouTube, man, you catch us on all the major platforms, man. Like I said, everything from there. You can catch us on Apple Podcasts, man, and Google Podcasts, man. Stitch is about to be unfortunately off of the off of the air, man. But for a limited time, the Stitcher is still here, man. Y'all can still definitely listen to us there, man. And again, everybody who is listening to us now, still, I don't know, we damn near at the 2.5 hour mark. But if you're still with us, we appreciate it. And again, man, let us know if you like this format. You know, again, this is our first annual, college football preview mega show. If y'all like it, man, again, man, let us know. Let us know. I said again, that's one thing that my homeboys here, could definitely tell you, man. I said I'm going to keep 100 with you, and in turn, I want you to keep 100 with me. So as friends, good listeners, just let us know, if you like this format, if you want us, to do this for other seasons, if you want us to continue to do it, next year, do this, for NFL, NBA, just again, let us know. And if you still want us to do it, what do you want to see us do, man? If you want to see me doing less talking, if you want to see any of us, any of us, stop, taking over the show, but just again, let us know.
I do have some breaking news, though. It looks like they are trying to get Stanford into the ACC.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. What is this like breaking news? What, they're still at it? Because, like I said, because
the whole issue now is like media rights payout.
Yeah,
what they can do.
Yeah, so like they are like, this is just how desperate that Stanford's getting. They are willing to join the conference on a reduced or even no media rights payout.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, I thought I heard about that last week. Like I said, unless something else shakes, like you said, the false stalwarts still might not be moved at this. But of course, the thing is, Notre Dame's play or at least Notre Dame's role in this, I still again find fascinating, because now Notre Dame wants again the ACC be the one to have to pick up the bag for them, and again Florida State, Clemson, UNC, and NC State are still saying hell no.
Right.
To all that. So yeah, that's interesting, something to definitely just keep in mind, but
California teams, man, I'm telling you, they're like, nobody's gonna watch tonight.
Yeah, and actually,
and again, and it makes no sense.
Yeah,
and it really just makes no sense. Again, it shows how both parties are desperate. If we're being honest at this.
Yeah,
shows how both parties are desperate. Like I said, the ACC is trying to keep everybody happy, trying to make them forget about the terrible 10-year deal that they're on, and like you said, Jeff, Stanford and Cal are trying to get in musical chairs. the music stopped, and they find themselves ass out.
Now, yeah. So, like, do we have any more thoughts on the Big Ten? Because we kind of covered the bases with the Big Ten. I guess we got to try the Big 12. And
who do y'all think will win again? That's what I said. Who's y'all's? And in fact, before we get into that, will Iowa finally play offense? Because they're in the western part of the Big Ten, and we guess we need somebody to face, who they're going to be in the Big Ten game, though. But again, will Iowa finally play offense this year?
I doubt it.
They probably will have a sketchy quarterback, but they will have an awesome tight end, though.
They always do.
You.
They always do.
Yep, and a good O-line too, and a good O-line and D-line. Like I said, they'll play defense, but can they score?
Nah.
Yeah. And I got Wisconsin winning the West. So winning the West
because Wisconsin has Matt Rule now. Luke Fickell. So Wisconsin got Luke Fickell, but Nebraska got Matt Rule.
Yeah. Well, hell, what are your thoughts on Matt Rule in Nebraska, real quick, before we close out the Big Ten?
They're gonna be all right. They ain't gonna probably win nothing, but they're gonna probably have a 500 record.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what he get his foot back into the college, because he, like you say, he's stunk it up in the NFL, so he's back in his little stomping ground.
Yeah,
I think this is element. The only thing is they hired. I think his one bad hire on that staff is getting that former OC for South Carolina, because I thought he did a terrible job, with the Gamecocks. So that one has me scratching my head. But Long term, again, Matt Rule is a college coach. He's somebody who can actually, build something up. So yeah, I definitely think he's in his element, like you said, Ronaldo. But bottom line, who wins the Big Ten?
I feel like Michigan's gonna still. You know what I'm saying?
I kind of feel like Michigan too, but don't know about Ohio State. You never prove about Ohio State.
You can't, but again, it's like for whatever reason, I feel like Harbaugh might be in something now. He might be really trying to go for the damn gusto again, and he's trying to prove a point right now for some reason because folks kept pulling ass to get to them NFL last year. He's like, nope, not doing it. He's trying to get something going.
That's one thing too, though, Ronaldo. I mean, do you think that he still got 1 foot into the NFL?
Did he was it a extension he signed already, or did he sign an extension again, or?
I think he just came back and said, "I'm not going to go to the NFL."
Okay.
I think partly because he can get a job.
I think you know what? Here's what here's the situation to keep in mind. Don't forget, Harbaugh was supposed to be suspended 4 games because of recruiting violations, aka getting a cheeseburger, to like recruits or some shit like that. He was supposed to serve a 4-game suspension, but those 4 games. Hold on, man. Let me bring this schedule up right quick.
This is the man that spent the night at somebody recruiter's house.
Yeah, you already know. But the thing, he was supposed to be suspended for 4 games, but here are the 4 games that he's suspended for. He was supposed to be suspended for East Carolina, UNLV, Bowling Green, and Rutgers. Those are the 4 games he was supposed to be suspended for, as the terms of the deal that he worked out with NCAA enforcement. The NCAA said infractions committee said hell no. And they rejected that deal, but because of the process that has to still go on, this probably won't play out until the 2024 season. So as of right now, Harbaugh is not suspended. But if this saga continues into next season, this might actually affect how he, again, he might just say fuck it. He might just take the damn, he might take the Arizona Cardinals job, by the time this is all said and done, since he'll be tired of dealing with the shit that's going on in college football right now. So
yeah. I don't see the Cardinals because they just hired old boy. Well, then again, you never know.
Yeah, you never know though. But I just chose some random sorry team, and they were the ones that just came to mind.
Whoever Caleb Williams going to is where he's going to. It could be the Cardinals, could be the Rams, it could be. Yeah, it could be somebody, whoever Caleb Williams going to.
Stetson Bennett. Stetson Bennett's doing all right for the
Rams. I heard he's doing out there.
Yeah. But
did he graduate yet, man?
No.
Nah, he didn't. Hey, you know what?
Professional football player.
He made it. No, he made it.
He's a professional football player because he stepped foot in Athens.
He rolled the system. I give him that.
6 years.
He rode that system till he couldn't ride anymore.
That man was in that school for about 8 years. But
he was the real Van Wilder.
He really was. He really was.
But here's the funniest thing, Mr. Florida State up here. Chris Weinke was way older than Stetson.
but shit, Chris was actually in baseball though at the time. At least he had some sort of excuse. Stetson was just there. He was just there, just free balling. He's been free balling it like damn.
Wait. Years. He did red shirt 1 year. He went to a junior college, and then he had a COVID year. He unseated. Did he unseat JT Daniels?
Yeah, he did.
And that was the year where I didn't really know, but that year he just kind of crunk it up. And one thing that I will say about,
he had no choice. He was getting old. Like, shit, I got to do this now or never.
Yeah. And one thing that I will say about Stetson is that he's that kind of player that developed over time into who he is. And I think that because of that he may just have a chance with the Rams. Because he had the best preseason start last year. Last week.
That was definitely a Matthew Stafford pick.
Yep.
Yeah, it was.
Hey Matthew, who do you want? get Stetson Bennett. They gave him one little chance. Like, hey man, here's one pick for you, man. You just fuck it. What you want? Okay, I got you.
Come on over to LA.
Come on, take over my place because I'm getting ready to retire next year.
Exactly.
We ain't it, so go on here.
Now,
but I will say though,
about the Big
yeah,
12,
but definitely, put the or at least close the book on the Big Ten, man. I actually got Ohio State, man. Like I said, I think I got Ohio State shocking, man. Like I said, I know that they play in the big house, and like I said, the recent history against Michigan is definitely rough. Like I said, Michigan has taken their lunch, both times, and both times, the last 2 years, man. But I think that, again,
it's about time though. I mean, because Ohio State been eating lunch about 12 years.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. But
And that's when they got Harbaugh because they've been eating.
But I definitely think Ohio State has the talent, to win in the big house, next year, man. And again, this is the money year for Marvin Harrison Jr., man. So I definitely think he's going to ball out for him. It's going to be interesting to see how well he does, man. And of course best receiver in the country, man. He's probably going to he's going to go out with the big year, and I think it's going to end in Indianapolis at the Big Ten championship game. So yeah. That's the Big Ten, y'all. So shit, man. I guess we might as well slide on down to the Big 12, man. So we about to, we in the home stretch. We're definitely in the home stretch, man. So again, I guess the big question: can Sark finally do it at Texas this year?
Honestly, he better.
I think he can. That's one of my teams I'm gonna be looking out for this year. This is Texas because of Sark.
So do you think he's gonna pull the plug on Ewers kind of early and go ahead and put an arch?
I think so.
And
honestly, y'all, don't sleep on Malik Murphy.
Okay. I can see
heard he's had his moments in camp, and I know
I can see that.
I hate doing this because again, I think we like I said, we putting way too much on these kids too early.
Yep.
And I think folks keep forgetting Arch. I know what his last name is, but the kid is still a true freshman, and he has to beat out some other guys who still pretty good and who still know what the hell they're doing on the football field. Don't forget, if Quinn didn't get hurt last year, Bama would have had 3 losses.
Yeah.
Bama would have had 3 losses if Quinn didn't get hurt in that game.
You're right.
But we all know, man. But I know that if ifs and buts were cherries and nuts or whatever though. But still, Texas was controlling that game when Quinn Ewers. Don't forget, Quinn Ewers.
He was doing good.
The best quarterback recruit ever before Arch Manning. Got there, and I like Malik Murphy. Coming out of high school too, and like I said, I think. Apparently, Quinn Ewers has, or at least he's doing what he's getting, take the next step. We'll see if he has though, but we know that Texas got weapons though. Like I said, that if Ohio State has the best wide receiver room in the country, Texas probably isn't far behind. Texas probably has at least like top 5 or something, man. Because Xavier Worthy's good, and of course your boy Jeff, A.D. Mitchell, it has now returned home, to them. They got a pretty good tight end who's probably going to be. Who's probably going to be, an NFL draft pick in next year's draft. They actually have,
too, I think.
I don't know who the running back they had that was behind Bijan.
Because Bijan got hurt for a little while, and then there was somebody that.
Yeah, he sure did. You're right. I can't think of my buddy's name, man. But you're absolutely right about that, Jeff.
He was good though.
Yep. So yeah, they got the talent, but for our good listeners who's been with us for a long time, y'all know exactly what I think about what my thoughts are about Texas. How I think they probably do less with more than probably any other program in the entire country.
Yeah, you can say that.
But this year they have the talent. They have the talent to actually do something. Even though their schedule is actually harder than the other teams that they're playing. At least they're competing with Oklahoma. Yeah, I think them and Oklahoma are probably the two favorites. For the Big 12. But you're gonna probably put Texas a little bit more because Texas is actually they have the talent, and again they have two top 5 recruiting classes right now on campus. So talent is not the issue
for them. The coaches.
Yeah, like I said, they've been dealing with culture for a minute, and that's the thing about it, though, man. I don't know what. Again, it just shows that coaching isn't just about X's and O's or coming up with the best schemes. Like I said, you definitely gotta massage ego, massage feelings. I actually heard the profession being compared to a therapist, and I was like, yeah, you actually pretty damn right about that, man. You have a lot of people that you have to just manage, not just your team. You got to manage, your coaching staff, your support staff, and again, it ain't easy. It ain't easy.
Like, this is the other thing that we're not thinking about in these college locker rooms now. The money is not spread out evenly. You're going to have a lot of infight.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the thing about it. Wait, I touched on that a couple of weeks ago. Like I said, when folks been getting played, folks been getting paid. I mean, if you think about like an NFL locker room, them guys ain't getting paid either, man. You got practice squad players playing along with the dudes who on these multi-year contracts. Again, these guys know who the good players are, and they know who should be getting it and who shouldn't be getting it. Now, if who should be getting it, again, players know who the guys are. They know who the dudes are.
Mm-hmm.
They know what the dudes are. If the dudes are, getting broke off, then it's like, okay, we can definitely understand it though. But if a punter, if the punter is getting more motion than the starting quarterback of the team, we may have some issues. Yeah, we may have issues with that.
Big time.
So,
It's an ego thing. Humble yourself.
It is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then see, now you got these young kids that's gonna have egos. It's like I was told I was Mr. Football in high school. I got to have all this before I can get on the field, and then boom, they suck.
Yeah, and
so it's kind of that balance.
They recruit them.
Huh?
I said that's exactly why the D recruitment process is just as important as the recruiting process.
Yeah.
And that's definitely one thing that I've definitely heard. Kirby, and how he deals with a lot of his teams. I think is just it's interesting because again, like I said, you spent all this time and resources to recruit the kid. Then once they get on campus, like Ronaldo said, it needs to be a humbling experience.
Oh yeah,
you need to humble them, but of course you can't de-recruit them too hard because portal.
But the thing about it too, when you got schools like Georgia and Alabama, you don't choose Alabama.
Yeah,
Alabama choose you.
Yeah,
then you get drafted.
Exactly.
But Georgia now that they got their resume, they got the pedigree. They're like, look, these are the folks going to the NFL. You want to be part of this shit? Yes or no? And they ain't gonna be that humble shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and I mean the ego. They ain't gonna be the ego shit. Like you're gonna come. You gonna sit your ass down. You might play behind 2 other people. Or you might play
and I think just gonna get all those off the field issues out of the way though.
Yeah.
all that damn speeding shit. That is a result of giving these kids too much money too soon.
And
to where they're gonna get these cars, they're gonna go 150 miles per hour. Like that one kid did a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say, yep. That's what we need to nickname Georgia now, man. The UGA Speed Demons, man. That's probably going to be a more fitting name with them young men, Jeff. Don't get me wrong, man. Like I said again, I love my sports car now. So like I said, shoot, I've been there. I'm still there, man. But yeah,
you could be 17 years old with a Hellcat or with Ferrari.
Oh, it would have been, boy, you better stay off the road. That's all I can say.
And then you got plenty money on a college campus. Oh man, it's game on.
Bro, at Southern too? At Southern too.
Money at Southern is a whole different type of thing. So
It's a whole. All what we can do is laugh about what would have went down back in those days.
That's all you can do is laugh. That's all you can do is laugh, man. Oh boy,
you could stretch out a bit. Yeah.
I know what we did with a couple of bucks and a couple of bottles.
yes,
Everything.
Everything.
made our own entertainment.
Everything. But
Made our own entertainment, man. But shit, man. Speaking of motion, though, man, like I said, I think you've already told us, your thoughts, Jeff. Though, but still, man, is there any shot for Oklahoma to make motion in the Big 12 this year? Before both them and Texas, move out to the greener pastures of the SEC. What did they want to do?
I think Oklahoma has a chance of, number one, they have their offense under control.
yeah.
I think they still got Dylan Gabriel as their quarterback.
Yeah, they do.
It's not Oklahoma that we knew in the past.
But he's injury prone, unfortunately. But, I know I said he's injury prone, but when he's healthy, they were good. That's the thing I think people forgot, that early last year, Oklahoma was a top 10 team before, Dylan Gabriel got hurt, and they started, dropping a lot of those games. Or like I said, that they were, again, he was working, under that Jeff Levy system, the Baylor system, that they were running. He was running the hell out of it, but again, he got hurt, and he has a very good freshman behind him that's apparently, all world, and some speculated that if he gets hurt again and that freshman comes in, Gabriel won't get that job back. So he might need to definitely make something shake. But I think my thing I'm worried about with Oklahoma, Jeff, is the fact that they graduated a lot of their skill, except for the running backs. They got some good running backs, man. Because we played, Florida State played them in the bowl game, man. Their running backs are nice. I don't know who the hell Dylan Gabriel's going to throw the ball to this year. It's just my main thing. I think the defense is going to be better because again, Britt Venables knows defense though, so I don't think the defense is going to be as big of a problem as they were last year. But they'll play better. But again, they still need to work to get to the Oklahoma, like you said, that we know about. The Oklahoma's under Bob Stoops, as but again, I think they could be a 9-win team. I don't think they're better than Texas still, though. Like I said, even though, again, I ragged on Texas and I rag on Texas hard, but I still think Texas might have the track to the Big 12 championship.
We forgot one team in the Big 12.
What, TCU?
TCU.
I was just about to ask, what's TCU going to do?
Let's see how they do against Colorado.
As but
TCU, the thing with TCU, man, that of course no Max Duggan.
Yep.
That's the thing about it. They lost no Max Duggan or Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson, is he in the first round. He's playing. I said that he said he went to the Seahawks, didn't he?
Nah, that's on Jackson Smith.
He said, Jackson Smith the Jiggle. Sure was. I forgot where Quentin Johnson. He actually might have went to the Chargers. I'm tripping. I think that's where he actually went.
Because Flowers went to the Ravens.
Yeah, Zay Flowers went to the Ravens. Yep. I want to say Johnson went to the Chargers because of the fact that Mike Williams can't stay healthy for him.
Who did Duggan go to?
Sure, I forgot where Duggan went.
Who cares?
Who?
Max Duggan.
Oh shit, maybe he's with Chargers.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He's not playing.
Yeah, I said that. He's part of the practice squad in somewhere.
Yeah, real quick, like.
But again, I think they'll be, I think they're built for the long term, man. Like I said, they could definitely sneak up on. They'll sneak up on you, man. Like I said, Sonny Dyke has built a good program.
Matt Duggar is.
Oh, Duggar did go to the Chargers?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
That man again.
Hold on. Where did Quentin Johnson go to?
Chargers as well.
Yeah. Oh, reunion at the Chargers. Okay. I was about to say, I knew that he went to somewhere, that had a team, who had a receiver that can't stay, healthy. So
how the hell is Keenan Allen still in the NFL? Because he's supposed to be good, but he really wasn't that good to me.
I mean, I feel like people are gonna still pick him for the fantasy though.
Yeah, that's true. He is one of those fantasy guys, but he gets hurt a lot.
Hey, look, they give and take of taking it, man. Free game for out there. That's in our fantasy world. Y'all trying to do something.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, he's still good.
Oh yeah.
that's
TCU is going to be interesting to see without the quarterback and all that. It's gonna be interesting. But yeah, that's good. That's a good question to see for the Big 12. Like TCU, okay.
I think that TCU Colorado game is going to be a pretty good test.
Yes, I want to.
Oh yeah, we're going. Oh, that's the one.
Hey, right.
I remember, man.
Hey,
Demetrius.
I know that we're about to test the Pac-12, but that's going to be the one to where we see all the hype is out the window. Now it's time to get between those lines and play.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, that's going to be.
Oh, absolutely, man. Again, we're not going. Again, I'm not going to get too into that game, but that's definitely going to be one of the games we're going to talk about when week 1 comes around, Jeff. But on the surface level, I'm in total agreement. I'm definitely in total agreement on that one, man. That's that, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, like you said, man, a whole lot of people are gonna be like, "What the hell?" Right after when that game is 4 zeros, people gonna be like, "What the hell?"
It's gonna be interesting.
So speaking of Colorado, are we trying to go ahead and jump into this Pac-12 right quick, like?
I was about to say, who do y'all got? Who y'all got in the Big 12? And before you got the Big 12, how do you think the newbies are going to do, man? Like I said, we got UCF, Houston, BYU, and Cincinnati.
Shoot, I forgot about them.
Exactly. So what newbie you think is actually going to, have the best showing this year?
UCF.
I agree.
Don't discount Gus Malzahn.
True.
And John Rice Plumlee, like I said, he's an athlete. Like I said, he's
still with Central Florida.
Yeah,
because we had him here at Georgia like 5 years ago when we had signed him, and then he got transferred somewhere because he wasn't gonna play. Because then he go to Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He did.
And then he went to Central Florida.
Yep, he was in Florida. Like I said, again, he still can't throw the football, man, but he's still dynamic in that offense. So yeah,
though. I mean, yeah.
That's all he needs. That's all you need.
He's almost like Nick Marshall-esque. It reminds me of what Gus did with Nick Marshall when he was at Auburn. But I think Nick Marshall can actually throw the ball better than.
Same thing he did with Bo Nix as well.
Yeah. So yeah,
that's what I mean about he has a very elusive offense to where I don't know, like it's more of like an option pass deception kind of shit. I mean, like it's kind of weird how his formations are.
It's wing team. It's pretty much the current version of the wing team. That's pretty much what, like I said, a lot of misdirections, a lot of like I said, deceptions, a lot of motions. Yeah, a lot of motion in the offense, a lot of deceptions, the angles, the angles that the linemen take the ball. It's definitely I said again, it was definitely fun to watch. Like I said, it gave everybody hell the year they went to their national championship. So yeah, you get the right pieces there. Again, this is still college. The kids aren't paying attention. At least it's easier to fool kids than grown adults. So yeah, the offense can still work. So when when you have the pieces to it. So yeah, I definitely think UCF to probably do the best. Even though it's going to be growing pains for all four, but I definitely will pick UCF. And again, just plain and simple, I think this is probably going to be the year Texas actually, I think Texas goes out with a bang. And they go out with a bang. They win the Big 12. I think they'll beat Oklahoma. They'll play Oklahoma twice for it. Like I said, they'll play them, of course, in the Red River game, and then in the Big 12 championship. So yeah, I got Texas over Oklahoma.
Okay. That should be fun.
Texas.
Texas is where Ronaldo.
Yeah, I got Texas and Oklahoma too.
Also, won't sleep on Kansas State either. They said they have their quarterback.
Yeah, and also Kansas.
Kansas, yeah, that Jalen Daniels kid.
Yeah.
If he can stay healthy, he's a very dynamic player.
And then we can't forget Ronaldo's quarterback school, Iowa State.
I guess because of Purdy, but
Good old Matt Campbell.
You never know.
Nah, he ain't doing since Purdy left. They ain't been doing shit. So.
They really haven't. That's the thing about it. I was about to say, man, Matt Campbell at one time was probably the hottest quarterback, the hottest coaching candidate. The last, 3 cycles. Now, like we said, after Brock Purdy, they look real funny in the light.
Okay. That kind of brings up to what what they saying about Brock Purdy, but that's a whole nother conversation. But nah, I ain't seen nothing at Iowa State.
Yeah.
They had their shine, but nothing anymore.
So I guess it's time to talk about a conference that is on its last leg.
But they got like the best quarterback right now.
They have the best quarterback, but they're on their last leg.
Yeah, last of a dying breed. In fact, they really have probably the best collection of quarterbacks in the entire nation.
It's one. So I mean, yeah, because between USC, Oregon, and Washington.
Yep.
Like
I said, I really, again, y'all going to see it, man. But again, spoiler alert, I really like Washington. I really like Washington.
I may try to go to a game up here.
You sure?
Oh, yeah, shoot, man. You can tell us, man. Yeah, you can tell us about. You can tell us about that.
Because I have been by Husky Stadium plenty of times. One thing that I can tell you about these stadiums out here on the West Coast is that it's not like the South. Like you won't see cathedrals as football stadiums. I mean, you talk about 40,000, 50,000 that can fit up in there.
Okay.
Yeah, but one thing I will say though, but I heard that, like I said, yeah, smaller, but also heard that still, especially Oregon Stadium, might be one of the loudest stadiums in the entire country.
Yeah, I went to Austin last year for the Oregon Stanford game. Mm-hmm. It does get loud in there.
That's what I heard, man. I heard that Austin is absolutely nuts.
Campus. I'm not gonna lie, Oregon is such a beautiful campus. I mean, it's probably about a 6-hour drive from where I live at now, but not even 6, maybe like 4. But yeah, it was definitely a good place to visit. I crossed that off the list. Got to go to the Oregon store with all that Nike stuff everywhere. Now their practice field is different. It's like just kind of like granite everywhere. And they have like these granite birds and like all the Nike stuff. It looks like a futuristic utopian society, but it's kind of hard to describe.
Kind of like the well, it's a deep dive. Like, anybody seen the very last Jurassic World movie? They had like a little setup looking like.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they had like the Apple
little campus.
Yeah, the little campus.
Yeah, the little campus. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I'm getting a picture of that when you the way you describing it.
Oh yeah, it's nice though. I mean, it's definitely worth checking out. And then that's nice Georgia connection out there with Dan Lanning. That's the HC out there, and then you got Bo Nix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
man. But of course, man, like I said, man, of course, yeah. But since we're in the back tour, I think all conversations definitely begin with the current Heisman winner and the current favorite to be the number 1 pick in next year's NFL draft, one Mr. Caleb Williams down there in Lincoln Riley's Trojans.
Hey man, Lincoln Riley's they coming up with some Heisman Trophy winners though.
Oh yeah, he does.
He's amazing.
He's like, hey, I can keep doing this all day.
You want to have some trophy?
There we go. You want to have some trophy? Come play for your boy. Come play for your boy.
Time to win it's time to win the big one though.
Yeah, I mean, look, he still got some time to go, but he gets talent, and he would he would produce the shit out of him.
Yeah, and they got some good talent from the portal this year, man. I like the Dorian Singer dude from Arizona who's now with them, and said he's going to be a problem. And again, when it comes to Lincoln Riley teams, I'm not worried about how good they can play offense. I know they can absolutely score with anybody in the country.
Yep.
Can they play defense?
No.
Can they play enough to actually, they don't need to even play elite defense. We just need you to just actually get in the way of somebody and actually, make the stop that you need to make, to actually give your offense some help because we saw it last year, even against a team like Utah. Utah beat them because Utah was more physical than they were. Utah wanted to play the game when they want to put you know what in the dirt. That's Kyle Whittingham football, and that's the type of football that, again, going back to Oklahoma, he's with Oklahoma. That's not the game. I have not seen a Lincoln Riley team play that way.
Yeah.
I haven't. I've yet to see it. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if y'all ever saw it that way, but I've yet to see a Lincoln Riley team play the type of game that actually get the team dirty.
Yeah. Nah.
They play too clean of a brand of football. As a football, on my take.
Yeah. But, out of the ball doesn't handle the business as much as the offensive side can. So they'll get beat down. I'm glad you said to Utah because I was about to bring up Utah as a team.
Yep. Utah can't be Cam Rising again. Another returning quarterback. They can't be ignored. Listen,
I think Cliff Kingsbury went to them too. I think.
What's that?
Who's that?
I think Cliff Kingsbury went to Utah.
No, he's with USC. He's actually he's with USC. Yeah.
USC,
And well, here we go. Swing it back over that side, but never mind. Yeah, Utah still though.
Yeah, again, Utah. Again, we don't think about top end talent at Utah, but again, like I said, the 2 times they played USC, it wasn't close.
Yeah,
it wasn't close.
They were dragging them in the mud.
It wasn't close. Because that's the thing about it. That's what I want to see. And again, I give it to Lincoln Riley, even though I think he should have fired Alex Grinch. I don't think Alex Grinch is a good DC, but at least they got some good D linemen out of the portal that could probably at least help this time. Right? Yeah, as we saw, your boy Bear Alexander, if he has his head on right, he should be what they need on the D line, Jeff. That's the thing about it.
About being out there in Cali, though, that's the only thing.
Yeah, I said, how invested is he in football? We're about to see. But I also think we also got that also very good lineman is that Anthony Lucas. Again, he was only a freshman last year, but very highly rated. Again, somebody who should, again, somebody on the D line that you haven't seen USC get in a long time. So again, both him and Bear Alexander should be a pretty good tandem to work with. So again, can they at least form some sort of resistance? Give Caleb Williams some sort of help, because again, we saw with Drake May, Caleb can't do everything by himself. So again, can anybody else, just step up, and help the reigning Heisman runner, take back the conference.
Look, he might go Super Saiyan this year anyway. So he's like, fuck y'all, I'm getting ready to get drafted. So I'm paying my stats.
Yep. But that's also time to win.
That's probably why he got hurt. Like I said, padding those stats is probably one of the reasons, ironically, why he probably got hurt. I know it's probably the reason why probably Bo Nix probably stayed in longer than he should have.
Yeah.
And I forgot what game that was, but I think it might have been Washington, though. He stayed in longer. He got hurt. And he was over still had a pretty good year, but still, though, like you said, man, he probably, like you said, Super Saiyan is probably, something they could do. And that's crazy that Caleb can still get better. I mean, anybody can, get better. There's always improvements to be made to your game. Like I said, you always, learning something new. And if you don't find ways to get better, you don't grow. So exactly. I definitely think,
the cool thing about Caleb is that even back when he was at OU, I mean, everybody thought Spencer Rattler was going to be the next best thing, but he turned to be trash. And when he started to struggle, Caleb came in that game, and he just started balling out.
Yeah,
Caleb literally kicked him out of. Caleb kicked him out of He kicked him out of OU.
Yeah,
that's why he left OU.
Basically, what he did.
And then also, once Lincoln went to USC, he got his quarterback with him. And then that's where kind of how we've been talking throughout the podcast about, how you're not really committed to the college per se. You are committed to the program and you're committed to the coach.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much about your education as much as it is your opportunity to quote unquote take it to the next level. But something that I would caution a lot of these young kids, and I talk to my nephews and my young cousins that will start playing, I'm like, listen, you guys are playing football in an era in which you can get paid to go to college. And you can make money. But don't let that kind of stuff consume you. Focus on that education. Because money can come and go, especially from a fool. A fool soon parts from his gold.
Mm-hmm.
When you have that foundation in place, you can literally go anywhere.
Find you a trade, and come up with a backup plan. Figure out what you want to learn besides the football.
So I really hope
protect your chickens. Protect your chickens.
Oh yeah, like you just heard about the kid that was at Florida State. Something Roll, the one that was just that smart kid that went to Oxford for 1 year. He's a brain surgeon now. Yeah,
Marvin Rowe. Yeah,
he is a brain surgeon now.
Brain surgeon, y'all.
Look,
yes.
Man.
He played in the league for a couple of years.
Yeah,
Tennessee Titans.
Mention it.
Yeah.
Good man.
But he also realized that, hey, you know what? NFL is not for long. Don't blow it. You make you a little bit of money, invest it. Invest in yourself.
Don't blow it.
Don't blow it.
Because this thing about football
money spins. Money spins.
Oh, yeah.
Money
it's
spins.
Such a game. Football is such a beautiful game, but also each and every play could be your last play. So be careful out there. And also take advantage of the opportunities, not especially with the NIL deals, but also, as Marshawn Lynch said, take care of your mentals, take care of your chicken.
Take care of your chickens.
Exactly. Take care of it.
Take care of your chickens. Yep.
So who do we got winning the Pac-12?
So again, like I told y'all, man, of course, we have, like we said, Bo Nix coming back, and I told you, man, I like what Washington did last year, man. Said Michael Penix is probably he's another Heisman contender, and so is Bo Nix too. I said they would have top players, but Penix, I think Penix's story is definitely I said sure if it wasn't for what Jordan Travis has become at Florida State, Michael Penix's story would probably be the most interesting quarterback story in the entire nation, because he's somebody who couldn't stay healthy at Indiana. They said he wasn't that. I mean, he was a good recruit, but he wasn't that highly recruited coming out of high school. I mean, hindsight, maybe Taggart probably should have recruited him harder back when he was with coach, though. But I don't think anything could have saved the Taggart era. But that's a whole nother podcast for a whole nother.
Is Taggart even coaching right now?
He's a running backs coach for the Ravens.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he felt again. He's being friends with the Harbaughs apparently has benefits.
Yeah,
it is.
And he fell up to the NFL. So again, congratulations to him.
Yeah,
congratulations to him, man. But I think the hire of Caleb DeBoer for Fresno State for Washington exactly what they needed. I mean, I hate it for the brother Jimmy Lake, but he clearly, again, not everybody could be a head coach, and unfortunately, some folks just learned the hard way that hey, this head coaching life ain't for everybody. Mm-hmm. It ain't for everybody, and Caleb DeBoer, was what Washington needed, man. Of course, he brought the air raid, he brought the true air raid to Washington. He has one of the better receivers, Rome Odunze, who I think another potential, draft pick at receiver. And so they have a pretty good wide receiver room as well. They have a pretty good defensive end, too. So Washington actually plays a little bit of defense on top of that. They beat Texas in the Holiday Bowl last year. So, and again, and Penix is coming back. So I told you, I put premiums on quarterbacks coming back for their teams, and
that's
okay. I'll start off, man. I'll go out on a limb. I got Washington winning the Pac-12 this year.
I felt the same way.
I mean, I can understand all of y'all points with that. I'm going off of the strength that Super Saiyan is going to win it all, so I'm going for USC.
USC.
Because this is just Caleb's year again, man. He's like, look, I'm about to put a stamp on this shit and go ham. You know what I'm saying? So he probably just outrule it.
So that means that we've picked our conference champions from what is still considered to be the Power Five. What do we think about these playoffs now? Last year of the 14 playoffs, who's in and who's out?
That's so funny about how that playoffs work, because it's always gonna be that surprise thing, like, oh, what the fuck are you doing here? Like that one little team is gonna enter the door.
Or you have two teams from one conference that are just that damn good.
Yeah. Then kind of come head to head and then kind of maybe teeter out. That's interesting. Could it be a USC?
For me, I think it's going to be Georgia. It's going to possibly be Clemson, Ohio State, and USC. But I picked Washington, so I got to say Washington instead. So Washington.
And so mine would be your picks, but instead of Washington, USC.
I got Georgia, O State, Florida State.
I like that.
Yeah, like I said, man,
who's on the West Coast though?
I was about to say, man, I want to put Washington. I want to put Washington, in there as well. I was just about to say, man, I just don't trust.
Oh, hard, man.
I don't trust. I don't trust Clemson's skilled players, and I think Dabo's way is eventually going to. Like I said, I know I'm on a tangent, but I'm just going to say it, man. Dabo's way is eventually going to eventually erode that program. I mean, they've hit on the things that, at least the last few years, they've hit on the program. I mean, they've hit on the positions in recruiting they absolutely hit on. They've had great defensive linemen, and of course, hitting on quarterback. Outside of DJ Ukulele, they've hit on every quarterback they've had since damn Deshaun Watson. That's a high hit rate, and I'll give it to him.
Go back further. I will go back to Taj Boyd was a good hit.
Taj Boyd, yes, he was. He absolutely was. Yep, he absolutely was. And
really good.
Them hiring Garrett Riley, I think, was the type of indicative of the type of fire that Dabo still has. But I think he's too stuck in his ways, I think, to really compete like in the future, in the future of college football, because he doesn't believe in taking good. He doesn't believe in taking talent out of the transfer portal. It's always, he almost reminds me of Jimbo in that he wants to do it his way. And if his way is he rather goes out, he's going to go out doing it his way, and he doesn't care what you think. He's always going to do it his way.
Dabo is such an shucks guy. Like, well, they don't want us to do this, so they don't want us to do that.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, his shucks is bullshit. That's the thing about it, though. This man is just as greasy of an old salesman as Hugh Freeze.
He really is. Dabo would sell you snake oil, man. Dabo would sell you some snake oil.
Yeah, Dabo is a damn, used car salesman, just like everybody else, man. Don't let the all shook shit fool anybody, man. He definitely, sells everybody else though. But I don't like their receivers either, man. Their receivers and their defensive line scares me. If I was a Clemson fan, that's the thing I'll be most worried about it. And I think that's why
some good players, because they had some good defensive players last year. Who was the white kid that had the little cowboy?
Brian Breezy.
That was just kicking everybody's ass out there.
He went to the Saints, didn't he?
I think he did.
Yeah, I think he went to the Aints. Unfortunately, one of my words, but anyway, though. But anyway, like I said, I spent too much of a tangent on them, though. But yeah, but I got FSU and probably Washington as well. Like I said, I really like Washington, and I think in my championship game, I got the dogs in FSU, man. I actually think, like I said, man,
Go with it.
I really like bro. Like I said, I really like what again. Like I told you, man. FSU is probably going to have like the two biggest mismatches on the outside this year. Again, you have 6'7", 240-pound Johnny Wilson and 6'4", 215-pound Keon Coleman on the other side. You can't double both of them.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to choose. And also got a 6'3" tight end that can run a 4.5.
Oh shit! No.
Yeah, that's with Jordan Travis pulling the trigger. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's gonna get stupid in Tallahassee this year.
I'm not gonna knock Reggie because Reggie signed just like me. 2 years ago when I willed my Georgia Bulldogs to these championships. Because who was that? I was on the podcast with David.
David, yeah.
And we were going back and forth.
Oh yeah.
We was going back and forth, man. It got heated.
Oh yeah, that was good times, man. But that was definitely good times, man. But I actually believe, yeah, man. I think this should definitely be the year. Again, I'm not saying that they are a national championship contender, but they could definitely like I said with the schedule, man. I said they could get to the playoffs. I don't even think they're a dark horse. Like I said, they can definitely get to the playoffs, man, or at least give Georgia a better game than what TCU did.
That's what
garbage, man.
That's the thing about it.
I want a way better championship this year than last year. Of course, as a Georgia fan, I would have loved to see a game like that too, when you get somebody mollywop.
Yeah.
I also want to see a more evenly matched game this year. Hopefully, we get that.
So, who should choose, Bernardo?
For the final?
Yeah.
I mean, UGA, of course, is going to do their thing. I just love the fact that they just have that dynasty-esque like kind of thing going on, which is so cool. So UGA, and I don't know. I guess I'm willing USC into the whole thing too now. So UGA and USC.
Believe it or not, if Washington don't make it, I can see the same thing happening. So we actually agree.
It should be. You never know anything can happen throughout it all. So
yeah.
It's gonna be fun.
That would be a marquee matchup because
I think it would, man. I think it would.
I think it would too.
Especially with what I'm saying. Like, again, I'm putting the spotlight on Caleb like that, but just. What perfect way to him like entering the NFL and then to go through it like this, like, hey, this is my chance. So see what happens.
I honestly, shoot, with the teams we chose, man, any one of them, could be, it's a big time matchups, and of course, man, nothing against TCU.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing against them, but like you said, it's just something, seeing the blue blood teams, especially teams that again. We're not used to seeing them, play each other, man. But again, since we're all, going towards two big conferences soon, that they will be playing each other more so now, and the matchups won't be as unique though. But again, man, like I said, it's just odd that the FSU and UGA don't play each other as much as you would expect them to.
True.
It's the fact that they're only 5 hours away from each other.
True.
And again, you don't see, you don't see Georgia and USC or Washington, the Washington Georgia.
Last time Georgia played FSU was in a bowl game, maybe
Sugar Bowl.
in the early 2000s.
Yeah, the Sugar Bowl. That was Mark Ricks, first year, I believe.
That's when they had what's called as a quarterback, the one that became
Anquan Bolden.
Anquan Bolden, yeah.
Yep. That was the last time. Yeah. Shoot, that was what? Yeah, over 20 years ago too? Damn.
Yeah.
We getting old, y'all.
Shit, tell them about it. Probably 30.
Yeah, I said that's Sugar Bowl, man. Yeah, that's wild times, though. Wild times, man. But yeah, man. But like you said, man, shoot. But yeah, I'm definitely willing some. I'm definitely willing some. Wins this year. For my squad as well. Like I said, man. Hey, either way, this is going to be a fun season to follow. Like I said, it's going to be the last hurrah for the Pac-12 and a lot of these conferences as we know it, man. And again, it's easy to look at the cynical side of a lot of this. I definitely don't blame anybody, because again, I'm just as much of a traditionalist too, man. Like I said, I'm definitely going to miss what makes college football, because again, if I wanted to watch pro football, I'd watch the NFL. Like I said, I'm a big NFL fan too. I love football. I love my damn Falcons. We're gonna talk about them, later. We're definitely gonna talk about them, when we get closer, to the NFL. So yeah, like I said, I love all that. And again, if I want to watch, get my NFL fix, I'd watch the pros. Yeah. I want to get college fix, tune into ESPN Game Day, man, and get ready for 3 hours, for what's coming up, that season. So, but anyway, this is going to be.
I like how you said that though. It's like I love the fact that college football is college football, from the rules to the way its feelings is, the way
the bands, the tailgating, the pageantry.
Yeah, it's on a Saturday, and Saturday's a good day. Got a good weather. It's good. You go outside, like, damn, I'm ready for some football. Like, it's just good to have something like that, and it's good to have it separate from the NFL, which becomes a whole nother, NFL becomes, the diva league. You got the money, what I'm saying? I'm not playing.
NFL is just business, man. It's just straight business.
It's a really big business league. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna be playing your ass off in a professional level because you're getting paid money. But college is on there. Like, look, I'm young, rough. I'm ready to eat. I'm hungry. I want to play this thing. Sometimes you get a lot of good product out of that. So,
just like high school, man. Just like the high school game, man. Because I'm checking out, the Carrollton Hughes game tomorrow, and I'm very excited for. ESPN is going to be, showing it, and got my ticket. And I said, shout out to GoFan. The GoFan app, where you could get high school football tickets on. So definitely did that, man. Look forward to being in Carrollton, next week, and just look forward to, or at least just appreciate you, Jeff, for blessing us this tonight.
Yes,
just
sir.
Bringing your insight, and again, we hope everybody enjoyed this college football show. Y'all see that. Unfortunately, T is in the military, so he had to step out, and take care of his unit, man, aka hold hands. So you know how that goes. And and Brandon probably has some life things going on though, man. But he gave me the keys to the kingdom tonight, and I definitely hope you all enjoyed it. And any parting words, Jeff? I say any last things you want to say, man? Anything you want to plug, man? Let us know, more about Legendary Podcast, man. How we can find you, man? Just what do you want? What do you want to say to the good people, man, who are still with us?
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you, listeners, for listening to this 3.5 hour just breakdown.
Mega show. We told you it was going to be a mega show. We told y'all
of this, all the conferences and how we feel about the talent this year. It's always a pleasure to come on this podcast and just really, just have these kind of conversations. You can find me on pretty much most of the social media platforms. For Instagram is Legendary Podcast. The Legend of King Jeff. Facebook, Jeffrey Jackson, Legendary Podcast. Please like and subscribe to my podcast, which is Legendary_podcast. And, I definitely look forward to having these guys on my podcast as well. And peace out, man. Just have a good day and be safe out there.
I can't stress how much of a dope podcast Legendary is, because it's something that's needed. You know what I'm saying? Like for us black men, like just a mental thing, like a mental health advocacy thing, a breakdown of looking at perspective from of a black man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just dope to have that, because you don't have that type of podcast anywhere. Like, you can have some here, few slim in that area, but to have that niche area to do it, I promise you guys to go listen to it. You're gonna have an incredible time. It's just a dope recording. So definitely go check them out.
Oh yes, raw and uncut. Let
Always.
it flow, man. Let it flow.
There we go, man. Let's shoot. Let it fly, man. But
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
man.
Let it fly.
But as always, just again, we can't say it enough, Jeff, man. Shout out for sharing your time with us. I know, time is very important, man, and you definitely spent 3.5
It's
hours.
too early out here. It's 8:30 out here.
Yeah,
Y'all
it sure is, man. I can't even get here 3 hours. Yeah, I said, night's still young for this man. Night's still young, man. But just again, appreciate you coming on. Like I said, man, you're not a guest. You're definitely, shit, man. You're definitely, a family. You're a part of the first round family, man. We always appreciate your insight and getting us, man. Bless us. And again, congratulations to your own podcast, man. Like I said, we definitely, pray for many, many more episodes in years to come. We definitely, look forward to seeing the continued growth. And when you're back on the East Coast, man, definitely let us know, man. Like I said, we definitely gonna, get up, man. We definitely getting up, man. Once you get back to the A, my brother.
We'll do.
And for everybody who tapped in tonight, again, appreciate you all. The comments were jumping. I definitely appreciate everybody for coming in, repping their team. And shout out once again, to the first rounders, man. B. Willingham, my brother from another mother, Corporal Rivers, King Leon, aka Hell Southern. You already know, man. That's our first love. We definitely have our teams, man. But don't get it twisted, though. We are Eagles. We are Eagles first and foremost.
Gotta Hell Southern get after that ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are Eagles first and foremost, man. Like I said, we definitely, love. I said we definitely love the blue to the death of us, man. So always shout out, to them Eagles, and just again shout out to everybody who's been listening to us, since day one, or if this is your first time tuning in, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel, follow us on social media. And again, give us feedback, man. If you enjoyed this show, let us know, man. If you enjoyed this format, again, man, we're going to refine it. We're going to do it better, man. Like I said, that we always look for improvement. We always look for constructive criticism. Hell, we take all criticism, man. If you think it sucks, let us know. Like I said, man, I'm about keeping it 100. If you keep it 100 with me, man, like I said, I can only respect it, though, man. But everybody else, thank you for joining in. And till next time, everybody, enjoy your weekend. Football is back. Football is back.
Yes, sir.
That's how I want to end it. Peace out. Go Noles.
Yep, that's the catchphrase, man. Legendary yacht.
Let's go.
But yeah, that was cool though, bro.
Yeah, man. Cool. It was. Want to catch you on the next go around, man? So let me know what up when like I said, let me know when you start your start a recording too, man. We're gonna bring it in.
I definitely will, because man, I definitely got some shows coming up pretty soon. I want to get you guys on. Then, of course, once I'm back on the East Coast, man, yeah, say less, bro. It's gonna be a thing. It's definitely gonna be a thing. And that's the beautiful thing about these podcasts is that we can just continue to just let it evolve into what we want it to be, and that's such a cool thing to do.
Yeah, man.
And then let me know what you do. Get yours off the bat too, as well, bro.
Look, man, I got a really dope concept that's about to be fleshed out now. So wait for it. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm here for it, man. I'm here for full support, bro.
It's gonna be something really nice. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's gonna be something. I've been waiting for the right time to do it. So
that's some kind of dope is I'm starting to get people that want to sponsor my podcast as well, so that's kind of cool. Yeah. I'm trying to get a few of those.
And you get the cool like little gift sets to come with it too.
Yeah.
Once you that certain level, they start pushing into some other stuff too. So, and I think Spotify, once you get into the next level, you can do videos too.
I saw that, and like I get my first 100 subscribers, man. That's going to be on.
Videos is what get out there.
Yes, sir. But all right, though, bro. I'm about to go ahead and get out here in the world a little bit because literally I had got off with the shift.
Yeah, man.
I haven't left the house all day, so I'm about to go out there and breathe some cool air tonight.
Get some air in, my guy.